I'm Landon Hoff reporting from the rooftop of the Denver 7 building. So many things about
Sorry
Colorado
about that, guys.
make it a sightseer's delight. Beautiful nature in the high country, our wildlife, and unique architecture all across the state. But this is a story about a new installation that has Coloradans flocking to a field in eastern Aurora. Someday, the Aurora Highlands will look something like this. Developers hope around...
That was the Century 16, by the way, guys. I don't know if you saw there, but that's what they just showed us. It's the Century 16. Watch.
Someday, the Aurora Highlands will look something like...
It's the Century 16, believe it or not. This is the Aurora Highlands. East Aurora in Colorado. Sorry. Looks like a campus. Yeah, this is the Century 16, yeah.
Like this.
Oh, God. I've been there before.
Hope around 50,000 people will live in this master plan community. Right now, though, the 4,000-acre...
Boring. So anyways, let's go look at something better. I wanted to look at Denver, but they're not showing anything interesting. Ooh, Skyrim is modded, huh? Yeah, I mean, I am playing. Yeah. But I don't want to play. Wait. You are... I think I changed my title right. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. YouTube vids before bed. I thought I changed my title. I really thought I did. Okay, well, I changed it on Twitch anyways. Sorry. Okay, wow. What happened to all of my title changes? Oh my god, shut up, you. Okay, all of my title changes totally got erased and didn't change. That's pretty fun. We will say just chatting before bed, which I already said on stream. I changed my title right on stream. I did it. And you can see these big billionaire fucking assholes lying in real time, right as I work. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I changed this on stream. I did it. Watch me do it again and watch them lie. Watch them lie. Okay, guys, I'm taking requests. If you guys want to watch anything, we can watch something. Otherwise, I'm going to watch stupid classic hardcore moments, I guess. This guy sings, which I really don't... I don't like that this guy sings. He's such an idiot.
What did I do?
No cleave, run X.
Voy a hacer una locura. Si me muero, pues me muerto ya.
Yeah, Morita's about to happen. Oh, come on now. When can you ever face 4 of something and win? You know what I'm saying? Dude, I love history. I don't care. Yeah, history's great. Yeah, throw me something. I don't care. I'm drunk and I'm tired and I've been at it all day. So we're gonna watch whatever. I don't care. We're gonna it's fun time now. No more games. I did the grind for New World. I got to level 60 in 5 days. I think it was 5 days. Yeah, it was 5 days, I think. I got from 1 to 60 in 5 days, and I'm burnt out. So I'm just going to watch fucking videos, guys. I'm just telling you right now. Like, fucking 50 hours in 4 days or something was really brutal. And I'm chilling and I'm watching videos right now. Okay. We're on it. We're doing it. Let's go. No way is it what's his name? It's Joker. No, is it Joker? Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, it's on Apple though, Hop. Apple. Don't get me addicted to an Apple thing. No, it's not boring. No, I don't care. Throw out your videos. I don't care what it is. Yeah, throw out your videos, but you got to tell me what the title of the video is. Don't do the link. I'm not gonna do any links. You gotta tell me just like he did. He said Napoleon. You gotta throw out. Don't throw out links. Just throw out titles. Yes, sure. Yeah, Civil War history. I don't care.
No doubt you're
Anything you guys want to see? Let's have some fun.
the chaos in the streets.
Oh my God! It is Joaquin Phoenix. Is it? Yeah, it is. It's Joaquin Phoenix, right? God damn it! I have to go see. I don't like that this is on Apple. That I don't like Apple. Napoleon cast, right? I like any. Yeah, I don't care. It is Joaquin Phoenix. I nailed it. Yes. Okay, so we come back. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna watch that one, but hold on. Have you ever met a monster? Yes, I have. Kill. Oh, did you not change it? No, you didn't. God damn it. Save you. Yes, you. Save. Open. English. American. Videos. Stupid. You can't park in there. That's the no parking zone. You can't park in there. You're gonna catch the piggies. You're gonna aggro the piggies. Uh-oh. Oh no, there's a helicopter. The helicopter lights are as bright as the sun.
Oh, you think you're fucking funny?
Yeah. Okay. Them's are fighting lights. Run. Run like Smokin' Oakum. Run now. Run now. Run now. They're going to shoot at you. Run now before your life ends. Go, go, go. Oh, my tablet died. Damn it.
Come on, let's go for a ride.
No. He's just waiting for it. It's about to begin, guys. It's 3 stars. You've seen 3 stars before, but have you ever seen it in real life? 3 stars is kind of funny. You don't want 4. You got to keep it at 3. Just 3. Not 4, not 5. 3. So you got to respect traffic. Got to not act like a madman. Just you know, disobey, but don't be Osama fictional character Bin Laden about it. Be Ghost Rider about it. You know, there's no sirens or lights going off yet. Yet. Here we go. Why are these so entertaining? I don't know why. They just are. He's at 75. Woo. 75. Yeah, you gotta watch this because, you know, you might get T-boned. Yep. Gotta watch it. Yeah, they're not happy about this. The calls are going out. The calls are going out right now as as I'm talking. The pigs are not happy about this, and they're You know, they're kind of gearing up here. I don't know, but I love it. I don't know. Yeah, I believe he does. I believe he does, Hop. I believe he does have tablets for mirrors, yes. Isn't he cool? There goes my hero. He's ordinary. There goes my hero. He's ordinary. He's way better than Captain America. I like this guy a lot more. Until he plows into, you know, a car full of kids. Oh, God. Yeah, just, I can't tell you how amazing this is on my 110-inch screen. It's just like, I'm in this motherfucker. I'm flying through it. I'm, like, on the bike with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's showing out. Yeah. Oh, the heli fell behind. The heli fell behind. Yeah, uh-huh. Well, I mean, he was scared at first, but now he's in the zone. He's fine. He'll do fine. It's a zone. You can't fuck with it. You just have to enter the Zen state, Hop. And I mean this, like, when you're on a motorcycle, you must get to the Zen state where the helicopter and the pedestrians and the people and the cars, they don't really matter. You just must not hit them. That's it. Other than that, you're just in the Zen state. You're not thinking fast. Your heart's not beating very fast. You're not, like, this is the best way I know how to explain it to somebody who's never really done it before. Is you're just in the zone, like you're perfectly gaming at a high level where the stakes are so high that you don't mess up and you do care, you don't make mistakes, and you don't fuck around, you know? Yeah, like, this guy's not scared. Like, if you were to take his blood pressure right now, it's gonna be at like 136 over 110. He's a bit elevated, but he like, dude, this is like a poker game for him. He's not very scared of this because he does it every day so much. And this is my suggestion to you too. If you ever want to do something like this, do it every day to the point where it's boring. Otherwise, you'll just die. You're gonna fail out. Yeah, like, he does this so much that it's like Wednesday for him. And that's the life lesson I wish to impart here. If you do something so much that it's like a Wednesday for you, it doesn't matter what other people say about you being an expert. I would say you are an expert. If you do it so much that it's like a Wednesday for you, and your fucking your elevation does not get higher than 128 over 138, something like that, and you're mildly engaged, but you're not panicked or freaked out. Your blood pressure is not jumping. You're not scared of the helicopter. You're not fucking showing off to anybody. Even if you have a camera, like I'm doing now, right? I'm not scared of talking to you guys at all. And that's what's required for this. You know, you cannot have fear. Like, look, he's in a helicopter chase, but he's taking the stoplight very carefully because he knows, like I said, the T-bone can and will happen. The T-bone is more terrible than the helicopter. The T-bone will kill you faster. Oops. Yeah, he knows it. Everybody knows it. Those guys know it. They're like, we don't care what you do, just don't T-bone us. See it? Everybody's terrified of the T-bone, and they should be. Yeah. Hi. Fuck you. Suck a dick. Suck 50 bags of dick. Shine your light on your fucking tiny little pee-pee. Bye. The green light. See ya. Let's get your helicopter moving, bitch. Get your helicopter moving, bitch. He could, but that's not where he's going. He needs this road, Hop. This road is part of, see it? This road, all of this is calculated. All of it's like, he knows where he's going. He knows what turns he wants to make. He knows where he can get away with things and where he can't. He knows what to do when. Yeah. And like that's part of it too. Like, you're gonna meet all these people all your life who will tell you that swagger is everything. No, they're gonna tell you fake it to make it. And my suggestion to you is don't ever subscribe to fake it to make it. Fake it to make it will get you in a bad fucking problem. More like, here's my reality world. If you and I can fuck with each other, we will. But if my reality isn't what you need right now, then I can't promise you anything. If you fake it to make it, you will end up in a bad car crash. If you actually have the the day-to-day practice, the hard work, the 50, you know how many kills I have on World of Warcraft? It's 232,000. I have 232,000 kills on World of Warcraft. Now, the stream sniper can step to me and say that I'm bad and I never got Gladiator, but it doesn't matter. To me, I say, well, I still have 232,000 kills. And that's my advice to you as a kid, right? All your life, you're gonna see these busters. They're busters who are gonna talk a good one. They're gonna talk a good one about how good they are, how they're gonna get the hot girl, or they're gonna get the money, or they're gonna trick you, or they're gonna be better than you, or they're gonna fuck your mom, or any of this other shit, right? Until they can back it up with the hard work and the diligence and the practice and making it so this is a Wednesday. It's not a Saturday night for this guy. It's a Wednesday. That's when you are, I would say, Ghost Rider. That's when you're Ghost Riding the whip. In the true sense of the word. He's Ghost Riding the whip. You know, he's, you know. You can put your life, at that point, you can put your life at risk because you're not going to fuck up. You know, he's not going to fuck up. He's not scared of cutting a 13-minute video because he knows he's not going to fuck up. Not to the cops, not to the people, you know, and trust me, the mastery in it is not losing your control. How was prom night? Too personal. Never mind. I don't want to know. Oh. Yes. So my best friend has run from police helicopters 4 times in his life, but he hasn't got a ticket since he was 17. And I love this story, and I'll tell it with pride. And I love my best friend. I love him to death. Known him since he was like 14 and shit. And one of the things I can say with very much true honesty, you know what I'm saying? He has been in 4 police helicopter chases, but he hasn't caught a ticket since he was 17. I'm not kidding. He's not caught a single ticket since he was 17. So when you have somebody who's around you who's like this, you know what I'm saying? He got a little speed wobble. Yeah. So something to understand about a bike, right, is if you're turning right, you lean left, kind of. It's sort of, but it's like the way the centrifugal force works. It's like you're cutting a knife through butter. And you want to, if you want to cut right through the butter, you tilt left. Does that make sense? Kind of. It's very hard to describe till you're actually on the bike and you understand. But the way physics work on a motorcycle are very, very, very different. So yeah, like the speed wobble is okay because he at no point is he like it would be actually be the way the centrifugal force works. It's almost like a what do they call those? It's a it's not a kaleidoscope. It's a what are those called? They're what are the anti-gravity tools, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, like that. Yeah, so you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about then. Yeah. Yep. I haven't done it now in 5 years, but I mean, I rode some motorcycles and mopeds in my time, you know. I have been on I've been on several very fast motorcycles. Yeah, like so if you're turning right, so if you're turning right, a better way to say it is you lean left because if you were to turn right and lean right, you're just gonna and it, depending on how fast you're going, you might not tip over, so you can lean very hard right or very hard left, and you're still not going to tip over because you're going so fast that the gravity won't work to tip you over. But if you're turning, it's a totally different thing where you kind of slow down and you lean in the opposite direction and you kind of lean outwards and then in. It's very weird. It's hard to describe without doing it, you know. It's easy when you first get on it, if that helps any. The first time you ever got on a motorcycle, you pretty much immediately understand what it's like, if that helps any. The first time I ever did it, I was like, I knew what it was immediately. I was like, I cannot lean the wrong way. The way the energy is, you can't fight it sometimes. Shifting gears is a really big thing. It takes a while to understand it well. Yep, there you go. So, but I mean, the force of the bike is kind of like a model train moving very fast down a model train track. It's hard for the bike to go off the track. Does that make sense? It's going so fast and so in one direction that you can tilt really extreme left or right. Yeah, and that's what that speed wobble. The wobble is normal.
Holy shit, man.
So he's hiding on an interstate underpass with underneath the overpass, like lights off, just hiding from him. Life dream. I've always wanted to hide from these people. This guy does it in real life.
Holy shit, man.
You get off, you smoke a cigarette, you sit there in the safe zone, and you think about how he'll never be able to fucking really see you. He'll never be able to do it. Not without putting himself at risk, not without, losing his job, putting other pedestrians and other people at risk. That helicopter can't really go look at where you are. Not without losing his job. And that's another funny thing about cops. There's certain things they can and can't do. This was good, but it's boring. Let's go. So what other suggestions did we have? The devious Honda CBR. I've done this like 4 times in my life. You kill the engine, you fucking park. That's it. You park and kill the engine. Let them go have a high-speed chase. You don't have to be there. Let them chase something. Doesn't have to be you. Fucking idiots. So now, what do we do next? You guys suggested, give me videos. I'm bored. Show me videos. Where was the chat at? It's not showing. It's so annoying. Why is my chat not showing? Blah, blah, blah. I can't see my chat. It's so annoying. Go. There we go. You like Civil War history, so let's learn Civil War history. Sort by filters. And do the oversimplified of the American Civil War.
This video was made possible by NordVPN. Click the link down below to get 70% off an annual subscription. Plus,
by the way, I would like to start this video off with saying, may we never see the Civil War ever again. I don't desire it. I don't fashion it as something as cool. I think it's the worst, most darkest, shittiest period of this nation's history beyond slavery.
plus an additional month free.
Yeah,
Also,
I've been to Gettysburg too.
on your friends. Turn heads, get compliments. Buy yourself some oversimplified merch today, along with a very honest new character pin. Link in the description down below. Okay, Mrs. Lincoln, this is it. One last push, and we're done.
Oh, for a
9
score
months and
and
4
7
years
months
ago,
to go.
my father brought forth upon my mother himself, and gave to her a child, conceived in a shack in Kentucky, and dedicated to the proposition that I will drink num-nums from a bottle and do little poo-poos in my pants.
I heard lately that there's this weird lie about how George Washington never told lies. And this is a weird American, like, legend. But actually, like, Washington was a consummate liar. And that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. That's just what I heard. Was that Washington was actually a consummate liar because he's a politician. And all politicians lie. I missed what you said. I'm sorry. You said, the food wasn't the greatest there. Yep. Yeah, the Gettysburg food, no, I doubt it's good. Did you go to the museum with the World War stuff in Gettysburg? I went to Gettysburg when I was 9 years old. We went to 2 different places. We went to Gettysburg when I was 9 years old, and I don't remember it. I don't remember it at all. I remember it being very hot, and I remember being outside all day. And then but I do remember was Hershey Park. We also did the next day, we did Hershey's Park. And that was the 2 days that I spent on Pennsylvania theme park attractions. Because we lived in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. So we went to Hershey's Chocolate Town, which if you've never been, is one of the greatest places on the East Coast. And if you've never been, you are a pussy. And I feel shame for you because you've never been to Hershey's Chocolate Town. And you are a pussy if you've never been to Hershey's Chocolate Park. Oh, yeah, you know, you're a pussy, Hopkins. You are a pussy as you've never been to Hershey's Chocolate Town, the greatest place on earth. No, I'm just kidding. This place is okay. It's a theme park. You're not a pussy. I was kidding. And, but yes, go to Hershey Park before you die. It's a piece of East Coast, memorabilia, right? Yeah.
For the next 2 to 3 years. Now, what is it babies do again?
Cry.
Oh, yeah. I am not touching that. Abraham Lincoln grew up with his relatively poor family in Kentucky, eventually moving to Indiana, and finally, Illinois. He read a lot of books, worked a lot of jobs, wrote some questionable poetry, and finally...
Yep, go to all of it. Go to all of it before you're dead. Yep, all of it. I've been to all of it. I've been to all of those places. Six Flags, I've been to like 4 of them. Okay, my favorite Six Flags is called Elish Park. Elish Park. It's Denver, Colorado, right? Elish Gardens. Elish Gardens. Theme water park. It's in Denver, Colorado. It's a really beautiful place, Hop. If you're ever in the middle of the country, for $65, you can go to one of the greatest water parks. It's a water park in the world, and it's got like some of the coolest water park shit you will ever see in your life. And it's got for instance, it's got a river that goes all the way around downtown Denver, basically, or whatever. It's not downtown Denver, but it's like, I don't know, 16 blocks or something. It's like a river that goes 16 blocks all throughout not throughout downtown Denver, but all throughout that water park. And it's actually really cool. I'll show you a picture of like Elish Park, Elish Gardens water park, right? I used to go this between the ages of 13 and 23. I went to this like 6 or 8 times every year for like 10 years, right? Yeah. Oh, it's too loud. It's too loud. Yeah, dude, this place is so cool. It's Six Flags. It's Six Flags Denver. Six Flags Denver. Yeah, Six Flags, huge water park. Yeah, it's a massive lazy river. You can ride it all day, and I did. That's what people do. If they're fat, oh well, they can ride the lazy river for 8 hours if they want. You know, it's fucking wonderful. Elish Gardens Water Park was one of the most beautiful places growing up I had ever been. There was a whole culture there of people who were there every day. It's a really good place. Theme parks are kind of crummy, but they're still really fun. Another place that we spent is the would be Colorado Alpine Slide, right? Alpine slides are really cool. Alpine slides. And we used to do these a lot because in Colorado, there's some of the best alpine slides in the world, which is evidenced by this, right? The best alpine slide in the world, which won't be Colorado, but You know, here we go. It'll be Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland. But let's go down a mountain coaster, right? Yeah, Kontrastag. Oh my god, this is fun. You have a big stick like your penis, and you push it forward when you want to masturbate, and you pull it back if you don't want to die, right? Push it forward when you want to masturbate, pull it back when you don't want to die. Yeah, see, you know what, then you know what's up. New Hampshire knows where it's at, like Colorado, you got mountains, you know what I'm saying? This is mountain life, you know what I'm saying? Mountain life, alpine slides and shit, yeah. So push this, remember, the big takeaway here, big Skycat Live takeaway, push the penis forward when you want to go. Pull it back when you don't want to die. Here we go, bitch. Here it goes. It's about to start. Here it goes. Yep. Oh, we go pick up some speed a little bit. Yep. Oh my god, this is gonna be fucking epic. Go, bitch. Go faster. I'm gonna skip it forward. You're boring. Let's go. Boring. Here it goes. Do not stop. Do not stop. Do you see it? Yes. You could die doing this, but you won't. You won't. You might get really hurt doing this, but you won't die. Oh, yeah. No, it's like, oh no, dude, it's like $7. No, Alpine slides are always dying, and they charge like $7 to $10, dude. Nope. You wish. Nope. This is not worth $200. It's like $7. How much is the Alpine slide in Denver, right? Denver Alpine slide prices, right? It's like I guess it's $49. Sorry. Walk-up prices has gotten very expensive. It's $60. $60. But you can ride it all day, but that's still a lot more than I paid. When I was a kid, it was $7. But your generation, they charge you guys $60 for everything. I hate them too. They being my peers who have gone crazy. Alpine slide in the Alps. Alpine slide in the Alps. Oh my god, it makes my heart get a boner. Do you guys' heart ever get a boner? My heart gets a boner. My heart got a boner right here. And I'm like, yeah, I used to live things and care. Oh my god, it's a sky ride to the top, so your lazy fat American ass doesn't even have to walk his way to the top again. You can just ride the sky car all the way to the top and ride back down the Alpine slide again. Oh my god, it's so awesome. What's it doing? It's like charging him up or something. Go. Boring. Let's go. Boring. Oh, boring. Oh, well, it was good enough. More.
Finally, entered the law profession. Despite being self-taught, he turned out to be a pretty clever and astute lawyer. In one case, a guy claimed he witnessed a murder at night, and Lincoln was like,
"How did you witness the murder at night? Are you Superman?"
"How could you have seen anything in the dark? There was a bright full moon."
Classic lawyer questions.
What? A bright full moon? Can you say that again, please? There was a bright full moon. A dim half moon? No, a bright full moon. That's funny, because according to this almanac, there was a dim half moon that night, which makes you
a liar.
Liar. Well?
I am lying, aren't I? Yeah, I am.
Well, I got a bright full moon for y'all right here. Now that's what I call a rebuttal.
Yeah!
And his cheekbones weren't only interested in law, however. He also dabbled in the world of politics, serving as a legislator in both local and national assemblies. And what a time it was. Not even 100 years after the Founding Fathers wrote all men are created equal,
Goddamn right.
politicians were already asking, yeah, but what does that mean exactly?
Equal means it doesn't matter what race they are exactly equal to you, no more, no less.
It means all men. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a suggestion for Civil War submarines. I think we looked at this the other day, but let's look at it again. Civil War submarines. Civil War submarine.
One of the keys to understanding what happened to the Hunley is to understand how it worked.
Dear God, it was like some spit and some tar and some glue, maybe some semen, a little bit of piss, and mostly melting and death. And suffocation. Because they're underwater, suffocation.
In its day, the Hunley...
That looks like piss and melted metal, some death and some super glue, maybe some epoxy and mainly death. It looks like death to me.
was state-of-the-art.
That really looks like death to me. Tell me that doesn't look like death.
As a submersible vessel and...
I'm not going in this vessel with you guys. I know you guys all want to be in the same vessel with each other, but I don't want to be in there with you. I don't want to be in the vessel with you guys. I know I'm just not like you. I'm sorry.
Stealth weapon.
I don't want to be nut to gut with like 12 other dudes. I'm sorry, but no. All rowing and underwater thing. Where's the oxygen come from? Question mark. Where's the oxygen from? Oh, we'll just row until the oxygen is gone and we're dead.
The design of the Hunley literally was unique. It's extremely
unique as in stupid.
Sleek, very hydrodynamic.
Very leaky and very dangerous and very, very homicidal.
And for the period that it was made in,
it was really stupid.
It's really an anomaly.
It's an anomaly of death. We had a lot of deaths with this one.
The fishboat, as it was called, used fins or diving planes.
Oh no, the fishboat is really stupid.
Merge.
That's held together by glue that dissolves in water.
And surface. When they were pointed down, oncoming water.
Back then, they didn't. That's the answer, Hop. They didn't have oxygen tanks back then, Hop. It's called death, Hop. The answer is death. They didn't have oxygen tanks back then. They just had carbon dioxide in a dream.
Drove the sub deeper. When pointed up, water flowing.
And that's why you don't do stupid things.
Beneath lifted it toward the...
That people tell you is cool.
Surface.
Everything from the narrow knife-shaped cutwater in the bow
was incredibly stupid.
The perfectly shaped
needle nose thing that broke off the minute you hit anything and then caused a terrible rupture that drowned everybody inside. Oh, the needle nose was such a good idea because every time you ever hit like a wall or like the ground or the bottom of the ocean, you would immediately have a terrible rupture because the needle nose was break off, and then suddenly it's like a bottle that had the top of the bottle broken off, and all that water sinks in, and you have 16 dead men.
3-blade propeller in the back was all designed.
Oh, cool! 3 blades on a propeller. That sounds, I guess, okay. It sounds okay.
Move efficiently through the water.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's find out.
Not only is it stealthy, but it looks mean. Somebody put some style into it, and it looks like a war machine.
Somebody put some really bad design into it, and it looks like death. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. If I was the wife of some dude who was getting on this submarine, I'd be like, no. Babe, we've got children. No.
He moved the dive planes and the rudder
into the ground and caused a huge rupture that 16 men drowned.
To control buoyancy.
Oh, buoyancy. No buoyancy, just the death.
Crew used pumps to fill or empty a ballast tank at each end of the sub.
Okay, so they had essentially their solution to oxygen was to be like a dolphin, like you said, which is incredibly fucking stupid.
The propulsion system was simple.
It was like
Pure
some spit and some grease and some semen, and you know, some maybe some love and some blood, definitely some blood, sweat, and tears, and it holds it all together with our dreams.
power. 7 crewmen sat on a wooden bench and turned a crank that rotated.
And our dreams hold it all together. Please, God, I'm dreaming that this might work.
The sub's propeller shaft.
These guys look really scared.
The submarine's interior diameter is less than 4 feet, so you are
Oh, cool. It's only a 4 feet interior.
hunkered over, and
Oh, cool. And you can smell this, dude. When this guy farts, it's only like 7 inches from your face. So when this dude in front of you who's rowing like a slave, when he doesn't stink of rowing like a slave, he farts and you have to inhale it because you're basically ass to mouth in this 4-foot submarine.
you are actuating this crank.
Now notice how he said it. He said actuating his crank, right? Which implies what you would want to do while you were down there.
You're sweating.
Your nut to gut. When this dude farts, it's your air. It's your air.
Cramp.
Let's just face it. When that dude next to you farts, that's the air that you breathe.
The humidity inside your innards.
You know, it's entirely sweat, balls, and ball sweat and ball smell, and like 7 dudes who all smell like Teen Spirit.
I can't imagine how uncomfortable it must have been.
Yeah, it was really a labor of love. Does the Army pay your triple time? No, you make about $3 an hour.
Its power system was crude, but the Hunley was 50 years ahead of its time. The
50 years ahead of its death rate.
world would not see another successful combat submarine until the German U-boats of World War
Oh, come on. This is the only successful submarine we've ever had. I just don't believe that.
I.
I don't believe that. That's what your fucking triple anus fucking media tells you. But I guarantee the world had submarines that worked. I guarantee it.
But like all pioneering warcraft, the Hunley was not an easy machine
These guys were the only people in the world with a submarine, guys.
to master.
The Hunley was a relatively simple machine as far as to dive and surface, but it was
Yeah, it was relatively simple. Once you went under, you drowned.
also unforgiving.
As he says, unforgiving.
The problem, I think, with the Hunley is
It's fairly simple. When you submerge this idiot craft in underwater that's badly designed and isn't based in physics, you essentially run out of air and begin to drown. It's a simple thing that happens.
it had no room for pilot air.
And when you're not drowning, you're inhaling farts of the dude sitting next to you.
I mean, it functioned.
So, you know, add insult to injury. If you're not dying of oxygen deprivation, you're dying of oxygen deprivation. Get it?
Exactly how it was designed. Everything worked. But if you made a mistake, you being the operator, you left the valve open too
Oh,
long,
my
flooded
audio
the
went
ballast
away?
tank too full.
Damn it, my audio should not be going away. I'm sorry. Let me run a Twitch. What is this? A Twitch Inspector. And let us go see what it is doing. Oh, yeah. Not good. It was okay for about 8 hours. And it had a long bout here. That's not good. Right now I'm at 6,000, but yeah, I took a dive here. I don't know what's going on. Let's go look at my speed. Yeah, with 800 megabytes per second, solid. I do not believe that Twitch should be having a problem. My upload is weak. So I don't know. My upload is weak right now. I don't know what's causing that. I'm sorry.
Any sequence of events, I think you paid with your life.
Get the hatch up, Joe.
This week, join me as I explore the mystery of the Civil War that still haunts the South today. The disappearance of the H.L. Hunley. It was the pride of the Confederacy, the first submarine ever to sink an enemy ship in combat. We've got the latest discoveries and
the first submarine to ever get a kill.
Exclusive new clues. So we might just be able to put this mystery to rest once and for all. This captain's watch could be the sub's black box. And this newly discovered hunk of iron, the missing piece of the Civil War's last great puzzle.
So that could have been a huge contributing factor as to why the Hunley went down.
We'll test the evidence from the Hunley's historic mission.
Seems boring.
The Civil, a group of Southern businessmen and engineers led by 40-year-old H.L. Hunley, experimented with submarines in Alabama. Quote, attempts to use electric batteries and steam power had failed. They now relied on something more old-fashioned. The fishboat was operated by 8 men turned propeller shaft. Tanks. And along the keel, a weight that could be detached for emergency buoyancy. South Carolina, the Confederate Army's biggest port. The South wanted to attach an explosive to the fishboat and blow up the Union's ships.
During 1863, Pierre Gustave Toutant.
I had to see it again. I'm sorry.
News of the attachments, one at the end, and along the keel.
They like
be attached for emergency buoyancy.
I imagine they lived, right? They probably lived. I imagine they probably lived, right?
News of the submarine made its way to Charleston, South Carolina, the Confederate Army's biggest port. The South wanted to attach explosives to the Confederate keel for emergency buoyancy. News of the submarine made its way to Charleston, South Carolina, the Confederate Army's biggest port. The South wanted to attach an explosive to the fishboat and blow up the Union's ships.
During 1863, Pierre Gustave Toutant.
I had to see that again, damn it. It's not that funny. Damn it, I'm sorry.
During trials, the fishboat sank twice. And
during the trials, it sank twice.
A total of 13 crew
not once, twice. And a total of 36 lives were lost.
members drowned.
Oh, please stop that.
Undeterred, a new volunteer crew was found, and a plan devised to sink the USS Housatonic, anchored off Charleston. It was a key vessel in the North's blockade of the harbor.
The Housatonic was quite a significant American surface ship. And after initial failures, they managed to get the Hunley into position. It sort of paddled its way forward with the men inside working very hard. These were armed with Spartan. The trouble with that was it was virtually an early version of suicide.
Oh man, if you put an explosive charge on the tip and it blew up underwater, that would kill the ship, but it would also kill everybody in the submarine.
We call them torpedoes.
Oh, my audio keeps cutting out. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I reset my router today. I reset the cord. I use a different cord. My mic is fine. I don't know. At that point, I don't think I have any power over that. Streamlabs is just sucking, and so is Twitch. Something about Twitch is sucking. I don't know.
Mosquitoes, but really they're mines that belong along.
What happens when you hit the ship? Do you just die? Is that the whole plan here? You guys are just gonna you're just gonna ram it.
Barbed in, so when
he's gonna ram it.
The ship
no.
rams the hull, the barb will keep it in there as the Hunley then has to back out.
During the raid, the Housatonics lookouts spotted the Hunley and desperately tried to escape, but it was too late.
The spar torpedo contacted the Housatonic. It went off, caused a huge explosion.
She disappeared below the waves in only 3 minutes.
3 minutes!
The first ship to be sunk by a submarine. 5 of her crew drowned. The Housatonic...
Okay, you guys know what I want to see? You guys ever seen Noodlin? Noodlin. Noodlin.
Wait. That's why I wore my sloth shirt.
I don't like this one bit. Once you get past the section,
Yeah, but we can't walk that. Can we walk around and go down there? No.
Snakes.
Snakes.
Bunch of wrapping in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
You have one of those garbage bags?
Oh my God, it's gonna bite me!
Dude, this is so mental. Watch the turn. How close? Janice, someone grab Janice.
We're not on the bed.
Tell me.
See it right there in the water.
She's just floating away. The current's strong.
Bye, Janice.
All right, Ellie, push this over here. I need to get the camera out.
This is the greatest show that Bon Appetit has ever made ever. You're welcome. And it's because of Brad. Brad's just drinking the river water. Look, everything's. Skipper just grabbed my thigh. It's go time.
Can I get you real quick?
Oh my God, Skipper,
yeah.
Oh my God, what is that?
Have a good night, Hop. Congratulations good, on your prom and stuff. Good to see you.
There's literally all of the things are touching me at once.
Like you. Skip, what do you got going on over here, bud?
Hey, I've got a hole found, man. I don't know if he's in here or not, but I want you to feel the hole. I mean,
I want you to feel the hole.
I thought I felt something. Could have been a beaver. I don't know.
Could have been a beaver.
Going slow. Point your toe.
Could be a beaver.
Well, they could always
Point
be a
your
beaver.
toe?
You'll
They
be
chew
fine.
trees down. I'll stick my foot in. Great.
You'll be fine. If you touch something you don't know what it is,
Back
that's
up.
why you go slow, man.
All right, finesse. That's
But,
why I wore my sloth shirt.
Hey, you can trust me, and I ain't lying this time.
I trust you, Skip. Come on.
Come right over here. Yeah. I want you to step over me.
Christ.
What's he doing? He's sticking his foot in it?
Yeah,
Right
there.
there. Oh, God.
Okay.
That's your foot?
That's my foot. Now feel the bottom.
You playing footsie?
Feel the bottom. Feel the sand. Now.
All right, I'm in.
Going between my legs.
All right.
Oh my God. Brad,
Sit
be
down.
careful.
Sit down in it. Sit
Be careful,
down.
Brad.
Get both feet in there now.
Both feet? All right, I'm in the hole, man.
Both feet. Both feet.
Both feet in the hole.
Straighten them.
I
Straighten
gotta
them out.
back up. Oh, you want me to go in the hole with it?
Get down.
Oh my God.
No f***ing way.
Get your feet down. Sit
Come
on bottom.
on.
He'll get out now if you don't sit on bottom if he's in there.
Oh.
Feel for him.
Oh, I gotta put my both legs in. I only got one in. Back up, Skip.
Don't let him out now.
I ain't letting him out. I'm in here.
All right. Now sit down.
Oh,
sit down.
shit.
Sit down.
I'm up to my waist in the hole here, Skip.
Yeah. Feel up, down, left, and right.
Get the f*** out of here. I don't feel no fish, Skip.
Oh, he's going to be in there, I'm telling you. Kind of wallow that out.
Don't go under the water though, Brad.
Lift
Be
your
careful.
foot. Lift your foot up high. Left,
Sometimes you
right,
have
and
to.
down.
Oh my God.
Point your
I'm
toe.
covering there.
Point your toe, feeling for
Just a
it.
piece
That's
of
what I'm doing.
Just a piece of wood. Don't worry.
Keep looking.
Oh.
Wow!
Find him.
Yeah, bit the shit out of me, Skip. What the fuck?
Hey, don't worry about it. This is what you've been trained to do. Yeah. Hey, well, go down just a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
Go on. I've had to pee for a long time.
Oh my God.
I pee a lot when I'm in the water.
Are you okay, Brad?
I think so.
Now, if he bites your foot, let him hang on. Get your.
I didn't pull out. He let go.
Oh, okay. Now look.
What's it feel like?
When he bites, put your other foot in his mouth
And
pry
lip
his
him up?
mouth open. Pry his mouth open with the top lip like that, and then we can pull him to the edge of the hole. And
All
squeeze
right. The initial bite. I'm past the initial bite.
him. Hey, he's not real bad, or we'd have hurt him.
Is that your foot?
That's my foot.
How is your foot at the same place as Brad's foot?
It's a big hole, Daddy. Feel up high as you can. I think he's floating high up on you.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Oh, I feel the son of a bitch.
Find his mouth with your foot.
Oh,
he found you.
He bit my knee.
He bit my knee.
He's trying to get out of the hole.
Don't let him.
Oh, no.
Now you get a hand in his mouth if he gets up there close. You can get your hand in his
He's
mouth.
gonna bite the
But leave
balls.
him in the hole.
He's gonna bite the balls.
You guys can cook anything, right?
I've cooked a lot of testicles.
Could you make me some chocolate-covered grasshoppers, dude?
Absolutely, whatever you need.
Yeah.
This whole
I like the
Just
yellow.
get me out of this creek.
I like the yellow ones.
Is this a creek? This seems
Nah,
like a
her
river.
goes way in there. It's tight going in, but
This is the creek.
This is the
Whoa!
you finding him?
That's you, Skip. Ow! Ow!
Skip is like literally messing with us the whole time.
No, this fish is in here.
Is
He's
it?
probably staying high on me.
Yeah, he's in there. This is a tough hole. I got to give it to you. This is a tough hole.
I want to get in there like with my go stick my head in there. This guy's pissing me off. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm trying to get him to bite my feet.
Wedge in there. Find his mouth.
This is crazy.
This guy's pissing me off.
Holy shit.
Do not let him.
Oh my god, he's big.
Don't let him.
What?
Oh, there he is, right there. Get your hand
I got it.
in his mouth.
I got him.
In his mouth. Are you sure?
Yep, I'm lipped. I got it. I got it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm lipped.
I got him.
Woo! I was worried about these boys. I could just see them get skunked.
Oh no, I got this son of a
Ain't gonna
bitch.
happen.
I got
right
this
there,
son of a
I got him.
bitch.
I got him.
Don't drink the water. Oh my god! And then you just put the needle through his lip.
Yeah, f him.
Get your hand on him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yep. Oh, that's my hand just putting the stringer through.
That's all right.
Just push it through. Anything for the fish.
Anything for the fish.
Oh, he's big boy.
Oh my god, starter fish.
What do we do? And then we just tie it to like a raft?
Tied to you.
How do you? Like, what do we do with this fish now that we have it? We're in a creek.
Oh, that's tough.
That's what the stringer's for.
But then,
Want me to pull him out a little?
What's the stringer attached to?
You take it with you. Your hand. It's attached to
You
your
did
hand.
like a pet. You walk it.
Yes.
Oh my god. So they got the fish, they put the stringer through the string, and then you just carry it to the next hole?
Hold still.
You just have catfish attached
Stay in
to
the
it.
hole.
Yeah, I'm in the hole. I'm in the hole.
This is insane. Who?
Ow!
What did you think about that bite when he bit you on the foot, that initial bite?
That initial bite, it was freaky. Scary. It's a Ow! Ah, stop pulling!
All right, get your hand out of his mouth.
Oh, Jesus, Skip.
Get your hand out of his
My hand's
mouth.
out of it. Tell me first.
Give me just
Look,
enough
he's
room.
bleeding.
Give me just enough room to bring him out, but you stay in the hole. There might be two.
All right, so I'm going to let him out, and I'm going to plug out.
Now hold on. I got to get him out from under this root.
I got him in between my legs.
No. Raise up and let him out.
Let him out?
Back up a little bit.
Right,
Let
back
him
in.
in the hole.
I'm in a hole.
Oh my god!
Yeah, baby. Look at there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo.
All right, give me a kiss. Yeah, you big ugly son of a bitch.
Oh my
Hey, there's your hat.
What? Skip! Oh my god!
See if there's another one.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm going to suck that fucking spider. Nope, out of the hole.
Stay in there. You're
No,
right.
man, f that.
You're
I'll
right.
do anything with spiders.
You're all right.
Fuck that thing. It's the size of a baseball. Where? No, man.
Oh,
No, it's a tarantula. It's right in my face. I got a fish. I'm good. I'm out.
Oh my
I
god.
don't want to take the hole from you.
Hang on. Look at that thing.
Oh my god, look at the size of that catfish. Fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
buddy.
That's my first catfish.
My first noodle.
You got
good
eaten.
eating.
You got eaten catfish. You know they're gonna eat you.
Yeah, that's a good eating size right there.
That's good eating size right there. Then that fucking Louisiana bow was like, "I'm gonna eat you, fish."
What'd you say?
The fish is like, "Fuck, I'm fucked."
Blue cat?
Blue cat.
Yeah.
Ba-bam.
Blue cat. He's beautiful. He's big.
Ba-bam.
Hey, yesterday you couldn't spell noodler. Today you are one.
Oh,
The death roll.
Jesus Christ! Look at that 60-pound thing fight you like a dog.
Yeah.
We came, we conquered. Yeah,
More
Maddie, give me a
noodling.
kiss. One of those, what do they call them? The big one. They got a circuit board transistor.
Why did you get tattoos all over your fat body?
Tiny transistor, Kev.
I don't even think socks would have made a difference on this.
I think they got you a fish in here.
Okay, let's go catch a fish.
Skipper's,
How much money was that? It's like $30,000 or something like that.
Skipper's nodding.
Why would you do that?
50-pounder, no doubt. Ow!
Teach their own. I'm not a hater.
No, we ain't used to the rocks.
Where we come from, we got shoes and streets.
You got a fish?
There's a big fish in here.
What's on your leg? Whose leg is that?
What do you mean open water?
He's swimming in open water. He ain't in it. What the fuck? Oh, it's you? Yeah, you want to turn sideways because we're trying to push him into the...
Don't drink one. Man, I think I broke my toe. Jesus Christ.
They're pretty sneaky. They'll get through you. We might have to drive at a time or two, but we're going to get him.
We
I'm
go
blowing
get
up
it.
the elbows.
Right, somebody let him through.
Definitely Maddie.
Somebody let him through.
Turn around. Let's go back. Let's go upstream, bub. Stay right here. Get in here tight.
I feel like I should have a spear.
I feel like I should have like a armor suit.
This is pretty primitive. This is primitive fishing right here.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say this is the most primitive. Zero tools.
No, zero. Just
Dragging your bodies across a rocky bottom creek.
Just using our noodles.
Is that what it's called, noodling? Because you use your noodle.
There he is. He was under that bank. He went that way. Keep going that way.
Keep going. You felt him?
Yeah, yeah, he was under the bank.
Oh my God.
You see that mouth closed now?
Oh.
Did he get through?
He got through?
He got through.
Oh, you got to
that
get
was like
it.
a missile.
All right, I'll help you here.
I heard it and I felt, dude. Oh my God, that hurt my neck.
Now you got to get a hold of him. You got to want it.
I want it. I want
The
it.
catfish then sphere.
Come on, close the gap. Get up
Close
there.
the gate,
you got
Manny.
You got to want it.
I want it. Skipper.
Show me you want it.
Skipper.
Whoa! Is that you?
No, but I heard him.
Yeah, it's like
Here he is, right here. Right here. Are you serious?
All right, he got through. Let's go back.
Big, slippery muscles.
Slicker than snot.
He's slicker than
snot. Almost that was your foot. Damn it,
I know,
Christian.
dude. It's gnarly.
Come on, fill the gap. Get
All right, fill the gap. Fill the
That
gap.
fish is terrified. He's like frozen with fear, I guarantee it.
Don't do that.
He's like, what do I do? I got 4 huge man-sized predators hunting me.
Let him go this way. There's a hole he'll go in. There's 2 of them.
Come on, it's the hunting pack.
Uh-oh, we got a pair, boys.
We got a pair, boys.
Come on, get. Okay. Come on.
We got a pair, boys.
I'm bottomed out.
Need to be skinnier for this.
Easy now.
Yeah.
Get down, boys. Get down. Get up here, Maddie. Come on.
He's right here. He's right here. Get low, man.
Hey, look.
Scare him.
Get him between your legs.
You see him, Eddie? Look right here. You see him?
Oh, he's huge. He's so big. Look at the size of him. He's got to be 80 pounds.
The gator. Pounce on him. Go, 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 go.
Get down.
Close the back door.
He's up there. Bring him this way. All right, we'll push it again, bub.
Oh.
This is noodling.
This is noodling.
What happened? Were you using like a human net? We're just going back and forth. There's about 1.5 feet of water. Trying to pounce on a catfish. This is noodling.
All right, can we drive him to Maddie?
Yeah, I think so.
Matt,
Poor-
hold position.
poor
I want you ready
catfish.
like a Bengal tiger. Nothing gets past you.
No way. You can't get by me.
Ew. Look at you, babe.
All right, you got to
All right,
want it.
big push, bud. Big push. I want you like Tom Berenger on this
Drag
one.
your body and turn your body sideways.
Yeah, I'm getting up.
Oh, you cut my other bigger one.
That was a different one?
All right, here we go.
Skip, before we put this next drive on, how long you been noodling for, man?
I don't remember when I got started. My dad said I caught my first one when I was 4.
He was using you as bait is what he was doing. It's pretty neat though, man. I like it a lot.
Well, you'd like it a lot more if we caught this fish.
That's it.
You don't like it well enough to catch this fish. Won't you catch this fish?
Well, let's put this drive on. We'll push him right to big boy Matty.
All right, here we go.
Alright, we're coming right for you, bub. Alright, just imagine that. We haven't eaten in days. We're starving. This is it. The family depends on this fish. This guy's shooting a calendar over there. Oh yeah. I'm spread too. We got the Brad net full swing here.
We may have to get you to help fill the hole going that way. You cover up all the places,
Huh?
Did you get past him, Matt?
Nothing got past me, Brad.
No.
Zero. Not one fish got past me. What? See, Skip, man. It doesn't get old. It's supposed to, like, I know it's gonna happen, and it still doesn't get old. Because I'm still petrified. I'm laying in here just because I'm lazy and I'm tired. And my feet hurt from walking on the rocks, but I'm still afraid. But I'm not afraid enough to get out of the water.
Skip. He ain't scared.
Skip ain't
Go
scared.
ahead, look at Skip.
Skip's my hero. Look at him.
He's in here.
He's in
He's
here?
in there.
Oh my God. Okay.
Here's what I need you to do.
Okay.
Get your feet in here.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy.
okay.
Both feet.
Oh, this is gonna rock.
Oh my God.
This is gonna rock your world.
Get in there quicker. He'll
Okay.
get out.
Okay.
Push in there. Push in there.
Get in there.
Oh, no.
Get in there.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, big boy.
Come on. F sakes. I don't like this.
No, you got it.
Okay.
You got it. Get him.
Oh. No. No. Oh, I'm just keeping. What is that? A stick?
Hold on. There's a fish in here.
I don't like that. This is like f***ing.
Sometimes you just have to break out of your comfort zone.
Get ready.
This
Get
is
ready.
called,
I'm broke. Ow.
called type 2 fun, man.
Ow. What was that? Oh.
It's just Skip.
No.
I heard him rumble the bank. He's in there.
He's rumbling.
He's rumbling. Lineman.
Oh, I have sensitive toes.
I have sensitive toes.
Hold on. Back up just a little bit. Let me have a little room. You keep your foot right there.
Okay.
Yeah, work him.
Oh my God, look at that spider. Is that what you're talking?
Bro, that
Ow,
thing
that
is
hurt.
a baby.
How you hit me with a stick? Skipper.
I told you to wear long jeans.
He took them off.
No, it's not. You hit the top. My toes are sensitive. I've always been sensitive about my toes. I was never allowed to touch my mama's feet and transferred to me, and I don't like when people touch my feet. And now I'm putting my feet in a hole in a bank,
With
in
catfish.
Oklahoma fucking creek, with my best friend Skipper and Brad. Oh.
Back up. You need a little bit more room. A little bit more room.
Oh, it's wide. He could have got out.
Now, I hope you didn't let him out.
I didn't.
Close the gate.
Did you let him out?
What do you mean, did I?
Did you let him out?
I did not let him out, Skipper.
Did you let that fish out?
No,
Yeah,
I
I
blocked
did.
it. I blocked it.
I don't feel a fish. I think you let him out.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. We'll see.
I got long legs. You want me to show him in there?
Come here. Hurry.
You got him?
Hurry.
Get in there,
Over here on
man.
the right side.
Okay.
Hurry. Over here. Reach under me. Get a hold of his mouth. Right there. Get your hand in his mouth.
Where is it?
Right here on the bottom. Hurry. Come here. Hurry. Come here. Get a hold of him. Right there. Get both hands in his mouth. Both hands.
Okay, I got it.
You got him.
I got it.
Don't let go.
Don't let him go with him.
Don't let go.
I got it.
You let go with him. Hold what you got. Hey,
Jeepers.
Yeah, buddy.
I got it.
You got it.
Oh, mama.
Stringing him.
Okay. Whoa. Jesus,
You got him now.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Get your hand out of his mouth. Let's see what you got.
Ow.
Get a hold of him. Get a hold of him. Get a hold of him.
I got him. He's my baby. He's
You
my
got
baby.
him.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, let's see how big this is.
Oh my God.
Boom.
Jesus, Murphy.
Yeah, Matty. Big
Yeah,
boy.
Oh,
Boom. Booyah, baby.
Nice fish, boy.
oh my goodness.
Is that the same kind or is that a bull?
No, it's a flathead.
That's
Flathead.
mine.
That's Hold that bad boy.
No.
Name him. Don't lose him.
This is my dog.
That's your bike, huh?
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he
What's
just
up, Taylor?
Got your head on him.
Look at that. My guy's way bigger.
Yeah. Big boy.
This name? Ezekiel.
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 Got another one in there.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, they hurt that fish.
Dude, how crazy is that feeling would you put your feet in there?
Oh, I don't like the feet. Yeah, I don't like the feet in there. Thank you, Skipper.
You look wounded.
I wouldn't do that.
You look wounded.
My hand feels like it was cheese
Hamburger
grated.
meat. Look at that.
Oh
Look
my-
at that.
Okay.
Wow. What? What? Oh, this is disgusting, dude.
With your hands, bro.
Look at that's your pet catfish, man. Look at that.
It was good. It was good. It was good. I want to see more.
That's all the one in there.
Oh, the quality is shitty. Why? It's 480. Why is that 480?
Let me make sure you This one right here is ready to rock and roll, baby.
Watch your hand. I get us under that boat.
Watch your hand. We'll get us under that boat.
The only thing I kept from swallowing everything else, my whole foot, was my leg coming out the top of my foot.
Oh yeah, man, I got him now.
Oh man, I got him now.
There it goes. This thing's on this recording, ain't it?
Recording,
There'll
man.
be a little timer going off at the top.
29, 30, 30.
All right, dude. I bet it is. Like I love noodling. I've been looking into it for years.
I got you, Doc. I see it.
I can't think of a rush like this. I mean, this has got to be the best rush there is beyond sex. I mean,
He's right there, Goob.
oh no.
Shallow.
Yeah, shallow water.
Shallow water.
He was right in the front door when Jeff stuck his foot in there.
I like this one. It's kind of shallow.
Ooh, I felt
Oh,
it from
she went
here.
under.
It's a good fish.
Yep.
I believe it's from
Yep.
fish too.
Pull it out.
I got that other.
Oh my fucking god.
Where you going, girl?
He got you.
Oh my god, look at the size of that lunker. Look at the size of this lunker. It's like 300 pounds or something.
He was in the front door.
No,
though.
it's,
He was right
it's
there.
like
wasn't he?
60 pounds. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at the size of the fucker. It's just insane.
Except that first one.
Yeah, except for that one. Keep going.
That was good. That was good fish. Let me make sure you get
Mm-hmm, get him good. Yep, got him
Watch the boat.
good.
Watch the boat, y'all. Don't let it hit you.
Don't let it hit you.
He hit so hard, got his bottom lip bleeding. Beautiful.
I don't know what he did.
He bit.
78.8 is so much. Jesus.
But this hand, he didn't bite this.
She's got her entire arm through his gill. It's insane.
It's just spinning.
Let me get a couple pictures and we'll turn him loose.
There's a real girl.
Let me tell you, that's a good fish, though.
Fucking hot. I'm sorry, but that's hot to me. That girl's got a beautiful fish. Girls from the south, you know what I'm saying? Fucking southwest.
Yes.
Yup.
Beautiful fish. Hey y'all, gonna interrupt this video right here in the middle while I'm sitting here putting it all together to post for y'all. Originally, I was gonna make one big video of our whole day of catfish noodling, but it would be
I miss you and love you, Taylor. I'm sorry if I'm not around. But I still miss you and love you as a brother.
way too long. So
They hurt, bro. No, they latch on so hard. As hard as possible. I bet. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Get to the fish. You're cute. You're cute. I'm not gonna lie. You're cute. You're cute.
Right there.
Get up right there. Yeah, get up right there. I just can't hold it though. $80 pounds is so much.
Go down there and get him, Mark. Just get him.
Look how much. I mean, that's so much fish. Like you could eat for like a month off of that.
Grab him.
Like who wants to eat catfish breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Yeah.
He felt like a good fish. I just rubbed him on the side though. He wasn't moving.
He felt like a good fish. He's like, yeah, he's a big fish. He's a big fish. He's like, yeah, he is. He knows it. He's got it. Yeah, get this fish. Get him. Oh no, they can feel the bank move when this 100-pound fucking lunker just is like, ah.
Stepped on whose head?
Not his head.
Oh no, he's got it.
He was on my foot at one time.
Did you
tried to come out on me, Jeff?
He sound like a good fish though. What you think?
And I guess like, yep.
You know.
We'll wait. Are you hiding around there?
Did he get out of it, you reckon?
You want me to keep my foot in here?
You want to keep my foot in there?
We fishing with the legends now. We got the legends right here. Look up here, Jeff. That's a legend right there. All right, Mark.
You still got one. You still got one
yeah,
foot.
That's
Yeah.
me right there.
But the fish is just right in front of the pole. I mean.
Get him.
Stepped on his head right there.
Get him.
I spread my toes out so it
I spread my toes out.
You can. She got about a 16-inch spread on them feet, man. It's unbelievable. Y'all gotta see that. We'll get her to pull her shoes off after a while.
Oh.
I tell you what, when they get ready to go, buddy, they tough, ain't they, Jeff? They get ready to go, they'll go.
He's been under for a while. Come on, man. You're scaring me now. Come on, man. Help him up. He's got a 100-pound catfish or something. Yep. Oh, yeah.
I got it.
I believe you got a fish, don't you? Stupid fish.
2 hands in the front of his mouth. He ain't no
You grab him by the tail. That's what it looks like.
You got him between your legs?
You got it between your legs. Come on.
Yeah, well, you gonna get skin up though.
Yeah, if you ain't got a sleeve, but hey, you need something when you out there cutting hay next week. You'll know why. You'll remember it. So I had to do that right there to try it. Now you got to about pull one gill, sort of tilt it forward so you don't mess it up.
Yeah, we finna look at him, boy.
Yes.
Hey, that's a big fish.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty fish. He's skin up. I see he's bleeding right there. We're gonna be twins now.
God, that's a female, I think. She got
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is she pregnant? She's pregnant.
Yeah, he's bleeding. Next week he'll be thanking me for that right there. Boy, that's a pretty fish.
Beautiful fish.
Oh my God, look at the size of her. She's got to be 85, 95, something.
When I got him, I gotta do something. I ain't gonna turn it. Oh, that's beautiful fish.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all want to get a picture? We need to get a picture with that.
That poor fish is like, ah.
Yep. All right. Well, how do we? Can't I just push this? Do I stop recording?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I believe you bigger than that. I believe you bigger than 40.
Oh, that was him hitting him, wasn't it?
Yeah. Working on it.
You got hope for it,
I believe in 45, 50 pounds. I did. I mean, just feeding it with a stick.
Yep. I can't hold my breath that long. He's been under for a long time.
You got him? I got the little.
You got
two
the
of them in there?
I got 2 of them.
Well, turn the little one back.
No, catch it. Let that boy catch
Well,
it.
catch it.
No, I don't want to lose another big one. No, let him catch it.
Let him catch it. I mean, what's the choice here? You have to. Be a man. Take the fish.
We're gonna get him a big fish, but he's got to learn how to catch it.
Yeah, be a man. Take the fish. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God.
Man, y'all killed
How do you
me.
have two of them? How did you get two of them? Two of them. Oh my God.
I think that other fish is big though. Ain't it, Jim?
I don't know. I knew that for the littlest one. I got it out of the way.
All right, now Matt, did you see what he was doing? He's locking himself in there, and I'm talking about, dude, when I say hubbing up, holding on.
You got the hole now,
right here, that hole. You're holding on, but you're gonna have to. What you're doing right now, you're panicking.
You're panicking.
You gotta stay under for a little while. Just work.
You gotta jab it.
You gotta relax. It
Or
ain't
jab it.
like it's, it ain't no big deal. Just kick back, lay down there, and just.
Lay down there.
You can hold it a lot longer than you think you can. You just grab him and hold it.
Yeah, we're gonna get you up. Ain't not gonna have to.
All right.
He's down there. They can all feel it. They can feel that fish is down there. Oh yeah, fight that fucker. Get him up.
He bit me.
Yeah, he bit. Oh, he bit you.
Grab his lip. It's a big fish,
It's-
though, ain't it?
It's a big fish. Oh no.
God, you could strike a match on my leg.
That's what it's all about right there. Did I tell you do this the rest of your life?
Yeah, he got it.
All right, take it easy now.
Keep him in the hole. You might have to go under to get your arm in good.
I think you
How
got
you
him.
got a hold on him?
Got both hands.
You got a hold on him.
You got your arm through and
I
grabbing the
got him
gill plate?
good. I got him good. Pull him out.
Not all the way through.
You need to come on.
Run it through and grab that gill plate.
Running through. Oh my God. He's gonna pull like a 100-pound catfish out of there. Oh my God.
We got a fish now, don't we?
Oh my God. Like, oh my God. Look at the size of the fucker.
Oh yeah.
Woo! I don't know why I like that so much, but I do.
That's the
I
mama
love
fish.
that shit. I love it.
She got a big old belly anyways.
I thought it was bigger than that, Jeff.
Oh my God. That is
That's a
just too
dang
big.
good
It's too
fish.
big. It's too big. Okay, anyways, I was gonna watch this this other video here.
What does that mean exactly? And not just that. States' rights versus the federal government. What are the executive powers of the president? Is cereal a soup? The founding fathers left some of these questions perhaps a little too open to interpretation. And the biggest question of them all was slavery, an ugly mark on what should have been a revolutionary new nation based on liberty and democracy. Thomas Jefferson had written a condemnation of slavery in the Declaration of Independence, but out of fear of losing Southern states' support, it was removed. Hey guys, do you think leaving this a little vague will create any unforeseen problems in the future? Cannonball! And those unforeseen problems were now beginning to rear their ugly heads. As the nation developed, the North and the South developed along two very different lines, and two very different cultural identities emerged. Northern cities began rapidly industrializing, while the southern climate allowed for large plantations of labor-intensive crops. As a result, one half of the country didn't rely on slaves, while the other half had become economically dependent on them. In 1793, Eli Whitney's cotton gin caused the slave trade in the South to explode, while in the North, a growing abolitionist movement was taking root. A general mistrust began to develop between the North and the South, as Northerners felt the South were hell-bent on expanding slavery, and fear spread throughout the South that the North wanted to take their slaves away. In 1819, there were 11 free states and 11 slave states. A perfect balance, a happy medium, a harmonious relationship. Hey guys, nice to meet you. I'm Missouri, and I would like to become the 23rd state. Hey buddy, welcome to the nation. We'll be happy to accept you as a free state. Oh no,
Missouri.
you don't? You're trying to get one over on us. Missouri's gonna be a slave state. Okay, listen, why don't we just ask Missouri what it wants to be, and we slave state. Well, then, allow me to introduce to you the newest, freshest state on the scene, Maine. Hey, you can't do that, and you can't have any more slave states above this line. What? The issue of slavery is solved, and it will never come up again. A few years later, it came up again. You see, as America expanded westward, each new state or territory that was added threatened to upend the delicate balance between the slave and free states. If one faction managed to outnumber the other, it could gain an easy majority and force its own ideals on the opposing side, leaving a huge portion of the population feeling spiteful and oppressed. For a while, compromises kicked the can down the road and kept the volatile balance in check, as new free and slave states were roughly added in pairs. But then one loudmouth state just had to barge in and ruin everything as usual. The addition of Texas saw the United States enter into a war with Mexico, which they won, gaining a huge amount of land out west and creating even more problems. Hey guys, nice to meet you. I'm California, and I would like to become the 31st state. Hey buddy, welcome to the nation. We'll be happy to accept you as a southern slave state. Oh no, you don't. You're trying to get one over on us. California's gonna be a free state. Okay, listen, why don't we just ask California what it wants to be, and we can free state. Well, then, the territories of New Mexico and Utah, able to freely vote for slavery themselves. Hey, you can't do that. And we can enter Northern Territory anytime we want to recapture escaped slaves. What? The issue of slavery is solved, and it will never come up again. A few years later, it came up again. In 1854, a Democratic senator from Illinois wanted to build a really cool choo-choo train here and proposed that the territories of Kansas and Nebraska be created open to slavery, even though they were clearly above the Missouri Compromise line. Obviously, the northern states were like, hell no. But the Southern Democrats who controlled Congress at the time were like, well, if you love liberty and democracy so much,
oh, come on,
whether slavery should be legal or not. And so it was. Huge numbers of pro- and anti-slavery settlers rushed to Kansas to sway the vote in their favor. And while they were all there, they began to beat the crap out of each other. One of those settlers was a man named John Brown, a former businessman who failed at just about everything he tried and went arguably insane. He was a radical abolitionist and dedicated much of his life to the Underground Railroad and freeing slaves. One night, in revenge for an earlier raid by pro-slavery forces, he and his sons killed a number of pro-slavery settlers in the territory, helping to kickstart years of violence known as Bleeding Kansas. Kansas and Nebraska both eventually voted in favor of outlawing slavery. But from here, the tension began to grow at a rapid pace. In 1852, author Harriet Beecher Stowe...
okay, so let's go look at Bleeding Kansas. I've never heard this before. Bleeding Kansas. 3 distinct political groups occupy Kansas: pro-slavery, free staters, and abolitionists. Violence broke out immediately between these opposing factions and continued until 1861, when Kansas entered the Union as a free state on January 29th. This era became forever known as Bleeding Kansas. And Bleeding Kansas, or Bloody Kansas, or the Border War, was a series of violent civil confrontations in Kansas Territory, and to a lesser extent in western Missouri, between 1854 and 1859. It emerged from a political and ideological debate over the legality of slavery in the proposed state of Kansas. The conflict was characterized by years of electoral fraud, raids, assaults, and murders carried out in the Kansas Territory and neighboring Missouri by pro-slavery border ruffians, and retaliatory raids carried out by anti-slavery free staters. According to the Kansaspedia of the Kansas Historical Society, 56 political killings were documented during the period, and the total may be as high as 200. It has been called a tragic prelude or an overture to the American Civil War, which immediately followed it. The conflict centered on the question of whether Kansas, upon gaining statehood, would join the Union as a slave state or a free state. The question was of national importance because Kansas's 2 new senators would affect the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. I lost my spot here when I made it bigger, sorry. The question was of national importance because Kansas's 2 new senators would affect the balance of power in the U.S. Senate, which was bitterly divided over the issue of slavery. The Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854, called the Popular Sovereignty, the decision about slavery would be made by the popular vote of the territory settlers rather than by legislators in Washington. Existing sectional tensions surrounding slavery quickly found a focus in Kansas. Missouri, a slave state since 1821, was populated by many settlers with Southern sympathies and pro-slavery views, some of whom tried to influence the Kansas decision by entering Kansas and claiming to be residents. The conflict was fought politically, as well as between civilians, where it eventually degenerated into brutal gang violence and paramilitary guerrilla warfare. The term Bleeding Kansas was popularized by Horace Greeley's New York Tribune. Kansas had a state-level civil war that would soon be replicated on a national basis. Kansas is where the Civil War set out. It had two different capitals, pro-slavery Lecompton and anti-slavery Lawrence and Topeka, two different constitutions, the pro-slavery Lecompton Constitution and the anti-slavery Topeka Constitution, and two different legislatures, the so-called bogus legislature in Lecompton and the anti-slavery body in Lawrence. Both sides sought and received help from outside, the pro-slavery side from the federal government. Presidents Franklin Pierce and James Buchanan openly helped the pro-slavery partisans. Both claimed to reflect the will of the people of Kansas. The pro-slavers used violence and threats of violence, and the free soilers responded in kind. After much commotion, including a congressional investigation, it became clear that a majority of Kansas wanted Kansas to be a free state, but this required congressional approval, which Southerners in Congress blocked. Kansas was admitted to the Union as a free state the same day that enough Southern senators had departed during the secession crisis that led to the Civil War to allow it to pass effective January 29, 1861. Partisan violence continued along the Kansas-Missouri border for most of the war, though Union control of Kansas was never seriously threatened. Bleeding Kansas demonstrated that armed conflict over slavery was unavoidable. Like, pretty much when you have slavery, you're going to have armed fucking conflict sooner or later, where somebody tries to save somebody else, or somebody tries to kill somebody else. Its severity made national headlines, which suggested to the American people that the sectional disputes were unlikely to be resolved without bloodshed, and it therefore acted as a preface to the American Civil War. The episode is commemorated with numerous memorials and historical sites. As abolitionism became increasingly popular in the United States and tensions between its supporters and detractors grew, the U.S. Congress maintained a tenuous balance of political power between the northern and southern representatives. At the same time, the increasing emigration of Americans to the country's western frontier and the desire to build a transcontinental railroad that would connect the eastern states with California urged incorporation of the western territories into the Union. The inevitable question was how these territories would treat the issue of slavery when eventually promoted to statehood. This question had already plagued Congress during political debates following the Mexican-American War. The Compromise of 1850 had at least temporarily solved the problem by permitting residents of the Utah and New Mexico territories to decide their own laws with decide their own laws with respect to slavery by popular vote, an act which set a new precedent in the ongoing debate over slavery. In May 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act, created from, and I want to open this in a new tab, right? Created from the Indian lands, new territories of Kansas and Nebraska for settlement by U.S. citizens. The act was proposed by Senator Stephen A. Douglas of Illinois as a way to appease Southern representatives in Congress who have represented earlier proposals to admit states from the Nebraska Territory because of the Missouri Compromise of 1820, which had explicitly forbidden the practice of slavery in all U.S. territory north of the 3630 latitude and west of the Mississippi River. And I'm going to repeat this, right? Who had Southern representatives in Congress who had represented earlier proposals to admit states from the Nebraska Territory because of the Missouri Compromise of 1820. And we're going to look at that. Which had explicitly forbidden the practice of slavery in all U.S. territory north of 3630 latitude and west of the Mississippi River. So the Missouri Compromise was actually where Missouri was actually where America first put its foot down for equality of all races, I believe, and west of the Mississippi River, except in the state of Missouri. Southerners feared the incorporation of Nebraska would have upset the balance between slave and free states, and thereby give abolitionist Northerners an advantage in Congress. Douglas's proposal attempted to allay these fears with the organization of two territories instead of one, as well as the inclusion of popular sovereignty clause that would, like the condition previously prescribed for Utah and New Mexico, Mexico permits settlers of Kansas and Nebraska to vote on the legality of slavery in their own territories, a notion which directly contradicted and effectively repealed the Missouri Compromise, as both Kansas and Nebraska were located entirely north of parallel 3630 north and west of the Mississippi. Like many other in Congress, Douglas assumed that settlers in Nebraska would ultimately vote to prohibit slavery, and that settlers of Kansas, further south and closer to the slave state of Missouri, would vote to allow it, and thereby the balance of slave and free states would not change. Regarding Nebraska, this assumption was correct. The idea of slavery had little appeal for Nebraska's residents, and its fate as a free state was already solidly in place. In Kansas, however, the assumption of legal slavery underestimated abolitionist resistance to the repeal of the long-standing Missouri Compromise. And that's where we're going to pause here. We're going to leave a little tag here so I remember where I'm at. The Missouri Compromise was a federal legislation of the United States that balanced desires of northern states to prevent expansion of slavery in the country with those of southern states to expand it. It admitted Missouri as a slave state and Maine as a free state, and declared a policy of prohibiting slavery in the remaining Louisiana Purchase lands north of the 3630 parallel. The 16th United States Congress passed the legislation on March 3rd, 1820, and the President James Monroe signed it on the March 6, 1820. Earlier, in February 1819, Representative James Talmadge, Jr., a Democratic Republican, or Jeffersonian Republican, from New York, had submitted 2 amendments to Missouri's request for statehood that included restrictions on slavery. Southerners objected to any bill that imposed federal restrictions on slavery and believed that it was a state issue, as settled by the Constitution. However, with the Senate evenly split at the opening of the debates, both sections possessing 11 states, the admission of Missouri as a slave state would give the South an advantage. Northern critics, including Federalists and Democratic Republicans, objected to the expansion of slavery into the Louisiana Purchase territory on the constitutional inequalities of the 3/5 rule, which conferred Southern representation in the federal government derived from a state's slave population. Jeffersonian Republicans in the North ardently maintained that a strict interpretation of the Constitution required that Congress act to limit the spread of slavery on egalitarian grounds. Northern Republicans rooted their anti-slavery arguments not on expediency, but in egalitarian morality. The Constitution, said Northern Jeffersonians, strictly interpreted, gave the sons of the founding generation on the legal tools of hasten removal of slavery, including the refusal to admit additional slave states. When Free Soil, Maine offered its petition for statehood, the Senate quickly linked the Maine and Missouri bills, making Maine admission on a condition for Missouri entering the Union as a slave state. Senator Jesse B. Thomas of Illinois added as a compromise proviso that excluded slavery from all remaining lands of the Louisiana Purchase north of the 3630th parallel. The combined measures passed the Senate, only to be voted down the House by Northern representatives who held out for a free Missouri. Speaker of the House Henry Clay of Kentucky, in a desperate bid to break the deadlock, divided the Senate bills. Clay and his pro-compromise allies succeeded in pressuring half of the anti-restrictionist House Southerners to submit to the passage of the Thomas Proviso, and maneuvered a number of restrictionist House Northerners to acquiesce in supporting Missouri as a slave state. While the Missouri question in the 15th Congress ended in stalemate on March 4th, 1819, with the House sustaining its northern anti-slavery position and the Senate blocking a state that had restricted slavery, it succeeded in the 16th Congress. The Missouri Compromise was very controversial, and many worried that the country had become lawfully divided along sectarian lines. The Kansas-Nebraska Act effectively repealed the act in 1854, and the Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional in Dred Scott v. Sanford in 1857, both of which increased tensions over slavery and contributed to the American Civil War. The compromise both delayed the Civil War and sowed its seeds. Thomas Jefferson, writing contemporaneously, predicted the line in a drawing would someday tear the Union apart. 40 years later, the North and the South was split closely along the 3630 parallel and fight for 4 bloody years. The shit gets to me every time, you know what I'm saying? It gets to me really bad every time. It always does. It's so bad. Like, that shit gets to me every time. I had the video, but it's gone now. Here we go.
Uncle Tom's Cabin, a best-selling novel that exposed the terrible cruelty of slavery to the world. Oh, how awful. How morally corrupt a nation must be to allow such things to happen. Your Majesty, what should we do about all the starving children working in the coal mines?
Make them
Nothing.
slaves.
In 1854, the Republican Party was formed, and Abraham Lincoln emerged as a leading figure. Southern Democrats viewed the new Republican Party with mistrust, believing it to be radical and abolitionist. In 1856, a politician named Charles Sumner gave a speech in Congress, calling out slave-owning Democrats with fiery language. If slavery was a woman, she'd be an ugly one. And the senator from South
If slavery was a woman, she'd be an ugly one. Listen to the male toxic masculinity 200 years ago.
Carolina would like to boink her. Representative Brooks, do you have a rebuttal?
Carolina would like to boink her.
Oh, I have a rebuttal, all right.
Her buttle.
Yeah, here's a rebuttal for you.
Yeah, that's about right.
Come on, surely this isn't allowed.
It is.
I
mean, that man can kick your ass if he wants to. This is America. I mean, he might catch an assault charge, but this is America. We can kick your ass if we want to.
No, I'll have to consult the rule book.
I don't know. We can't have open fighting on the Congress floors. And I don't know. I guess you wouldn't really say it was an assault charge if somebody in Congress got in a fist fight with somebody else in Congress. It's obviously some heated blood here. So is it assault if a congressman punches another congressman? The answer is yes. Oh, I don't know. Filibuster.
I can't find anything
Do
about
nothing. Here's the birth of the Do Nothing Congress.
meaning a political opponent, but it says here I'm not allowed to wear women's underwear. Uh-oh. News of the violence on the Senate floor took the nation by storm. Southern slave owners sent Representative Brooks new canes to replace his now broken.
He came, he saw, he conquered. Oh my God. Ah, fantastic. Oh God. Who's old? We're mid condition. Oh my God.
Broken one. And on the floors of Congress, politicians carried weapons in self-defense.
Oh good, yeah, I'll shoot you if you fuck with me. That's America too. In America, if somebody fucks with you, you have the right to fucking call shenanigans and shoot his ass, especially if he steps on your fucking land first. You guys don't seem to like this, but I kind of do. I do actually like it. I think it's sovereignty in its pure form. If you're in America and somebody fucks with you, it's within your rights to fucking shoot them as long as you're not some criminal. You know what I'm saying? And they're on your land. That's make my day. I come from a make my day state, Colorado, and I kind of believe in it too.
Which is never a good sign. In 1857, the Supreme Court ruled in the Dred Scott case that all people of African descent, slave or free, could not be citizens, and therefore could not sue for their own freedom under any circumstances, undoing years of progress with the strike of a gavel. Now, within all this bitter debate over slavery, there were many nuances. North versus South, Republican versus Democrat, states versus the federal government. But let's strip all of that away. For 4 million individuals living in America, this wasn't about political intrigue or party alignment.
It was about their lives.
It was about the basic human right to be free.
Yep.
Men, women, and children were stolen from their homelands and brought to the American continent, where for generations they were considered to be property, forced to live in poverty, and work from sunrise to sunset. Plantation overseers did whatever they felt was necessary to get the most out of their slaves. Punishments were often barbaric. Families were regularly separated, and parents could often only watch, as their children were auctioned off, never to be seen again. Thousands of slaves took the treacherous risk of running away, and abolitionists in the North helped many escape via the Underground Railroad, as bounty hunters entered the North to chase them down. Leading figures within the abolitionist movement included many significant free black men and women. But it's important
I believe black people should be free.
To note that for many,
like everyone else,
of the anti-slavery white individuals in the North, opposition to slavery was often an economic issue, not a moral one, as many worried large plantations would take their lands and livelihoods away. Abraham Lincoln knew that slavery was a moral evil, and he regularly spoke out against it in powerful speeches that helped him rise through the ranks of the new Republican Party. He lamented at the hypocrisy of a great American nation meant to stand as a shining beacon of freedom while also enslaving 4 million men, women, and children. He most famously declared in 1858 that a house divided against itself cannot stand, that one day slavery in America would end. However, even Lincoln was cautious in his opposition. He didn't want to outlaw it entirely, but simply prevent its expansion so that given enough time, he believed it would naturally die out.
Yeah, this was not an easy issue. Anybody ever saying it was is an idiot. He sat there and he thought about it for like 20 years because it's not an easy issue. It's like, it's an easy issue to understand that you shouldn't ever treat anybody like that, but it's not an easy issue to try to tell people who consider other people that to be their property that they lost their property. That's something that the government really has a big issue with. The government will not step in and say you lost your property by order of law almost ever. This was one of the few times that it ever did do it. Most of the time, the government won't tell you what you can and can't do with your money. I would say that's almost sacrosanct to the government the way it is to us. They don't tell us what we can and can't do with our money. They just say we should pay taxes. That's it. So he sat there for a long time thinking about this. It's not that it's a hard issue to understand that people should be free. It's that how do you convince stupid ass motherfucking business owners that their businesses are essentially defunct now? And the problem is the whole thing was so corrupt and fucked up in the first place that anybody who built a business off of that fucking shaky ass fucking foundation deserved whatever the fuck they got, which I imagine was probably destitution.
Thankfully, history would force his hand. In October 1859, one abolitionist decided he'd try to single-handedly take down slavery by force. Who would be crazy enough to even attempt such a thing? It's our good friend, John Brown. He planned to seize arms from an armory in the town of Harper's Ferry, free the slaves there, and continue south, inciting a major slave uprising along the way. A noble cause, a bad plan, and terrible execution. Brown's men took the armory and some hostages, but were quickly surrounded by one Robert E. Lee and his U.S. Marines. Brown was captured, and a couple of months later, he was executed for treason. Northerners sympathized with Brown, but Southerners were like, you see this? They're coming for us. Soon, there'll be 1 million John Browns. 1 million John Browns? What on earth are you thinking about? A John Brown farm? Yeah, me too. To make matters worse, new northern free states meant now the southern states really were outnumbered, and they were beginning to feel bitterly spiteful and oppressed. Further fear began to spread in the South when news broke that a relatively unknown figure had just secured the Republican Party nomination for president. Abraham Lincoln, mostly well-liked among anti-slavery Northerners, had made some of the most powerfully worded speeches against slavery of any politician at the time. And now, there was a chance that he, and his cheekbones, could become president. For the South, that would be too much. In the 1860 election, Lincoln's name didn't even appear on the ballot in 10 southern states. But much to their horror, when the final results came in, Lincoln had won by an electoral college landslide. Lincoln himself tried to calm their fear. How many times do I have to tell you, I'm not gonna take away your slaves? Yeah, right, Honest Abe. We've had enough of you Northerners. We're gonna go form our own country. You can't do that. Why not? Well, if you had won the election, would it be okay for us to leave? Of course not. Well, why not? Because that's not how victim mentality works. Many states felt that when they joined the Union, they always withheld the right to leave it whenever they pleased. Many people living in 19th century America often felt more loyalty to their state than to the nation. And now, with the South feeling like it had lost its voice in the federal government, they were out of here. South Carolina was the first to go, and over a period of 6 months, one by one, 11 slave states officially seceded from the Union, with just 4 contested border states opting to remain. The seceding states issued a number of official documents justifying their secession. South Carolina proclaimed that it was northern states' hostility to slavery that rendered the federal government illegitimate. Mississippi declared that their position was thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery. And in a speech, the Confederate vice president stated that the new Confederate government rested upon what he called the great truth of racial inequality. Revered American generals, such as Robert E. Lee, opted to side with their states over the Union. And with all the chaos, one New York lawyer wrote that rather than a bold eagle, America's national bird should be a debilitated chicken. And hey, I kind of like that. One man, watching the crisis unfold, knew it would be his job to solve it. Lincoln was just about to hop on a train and become the President of the United States of America. Hey man, you're hella ugly. Grow a beard or something to hide that face. Good idea. Still ugly. With assassination plots already underway, Lincoln had to travel to Washington, D.C. under heavy disguise and protection. All along the way, he received stacks of threatening letters. May the hand of the devil strike you down. You are destroying this country. Damn you, every breath you take. Love from... Grandma? At his inauguration speech, Lincoln once again reiterated that no, I do not want to take away anyone's slaves. But for Lincoln, he did want to preserve the Union. He declared secession to be nothing but an illegitimate rebellion. In your hands and not in mine, he said, is the momentous issue of civil war. You can have no conflict without being yourselves the aggressors. We are not enemies, but friends. It was clear Lincoln was ready and willing to get freaky and open up a can of Scatman John if he had to. Whether he had the support of the people, however, was in question. In the end, it was the Confederates that fired the first shot. As they seceded, the Confederate states began seizing federal U.S. property throughout the South. Off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, was one such federal property, Fort Sumter, held by a measly, undersupplied U.S. force. The Confederate militia there demanded the fort surrender, a request which was quickly denied, and any remaining hope for a peaceful solution to the secession crisis probably then died when the Confederates did this. The Battle of Fort Sumter is considered to be the beginning of the American Civil War. Many of the Confederates there also considered it to be the end of the American Civil War. They hoped Old Abe would just sigh and say, okay, you win. Unfortunately for them, Lincoln actually said, you're about to get a roundhouse to the face. Lincoln sent out the call for 75,000 volunteers, and men signed up in droves, hopeful for some adventure and good old-fashioned F-U-N. In the new Confederate capital at Richmond, Virginia, Confederate President Jefferson Davis and his cheekbones had also sent out the call for 100,000 men. As ever, both sides hoped for a quick end to the war. Is it over yet? No, Jimmy, it's been 1 week. Is it over now? No. How about now? If you ask that one more time, I swear I will turn this army around and you'll all have to go back home to your wives and children. But in particular, the South knew the conflict would pose a bit of a challenge. How can we expect to win with a population of only 5 million against 22 million in the North? If you count us 4 million slaves, you'd have 9 million. Great idea. Hand these rifles out to all the Wait a minute. You almost had me there. The problem for Lincoln was that many of his top generals were getting old and were being a bit too cautious. The commanding general was a man named Winfield Scott, a veteran of the Mexican-American War, and by now, he was too fat to even mount a horse. Okay, chaps, we need to come up with a plan. Hit me. We could wait for the Confederates to come and apologize. Maybe we should all sit in a circle and discuss our feelings. Crossing the Delaware into New Jersey worked for me. Those are all terrible ideas. And you? Wrong video. Hey, I'm the greatest president in the history of this nation. Yeah, we'll see about that, dingus. Eventually, Lincoln's generals came up with a multi-pronged strategy. First, a blockade would cut off and starve the South of supplies by sea. Secondly, taking control of the great Mississippi River would sever the South's economic artery while splitting it in two. And finally, a main Union force in the East would move south and take the Confederate capital, ending the war. Bada boom, bada bing. Skirmishes began to break out across the nation, and the Union Army in the East began to move south towards Richmond. Everything seemed to be going well until they reached Manassas, where they came upon a large Confederate force. It's almost like they were waiting for us. How did they know? As it turned out, spies in DC had sent a coded message to the Confederates warning of the invasion. Did you use NordVPN? What the heck is NordVPN? I'm so glad you asked. Do you use the internet? Me too. Do you like internet safety? Me too. Hey, we should hang out sometime so I can tell you about NordVPN. NordVPN has over 5,000 secure and super fast servers in 60 countries that allow you to surf the net safely without personal data logging. Not only does it help you stay secure, but with just a click of a button, you can take a quick trip to Sweden and enjoy some Nordic crime dramas. Is there some amazing content on YouTube that's still blocked in your country? Not to fear. NordVPN is here. NordVPN gives you access to all of these amazing features, and it has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So click the link in the description below, nordvpn.com/oversimplified, and use promo code oversimplified to get 70% off an annual subscription. That's only $3.49 a month, plus an additional month for free. Again, that's nordvpn.com/oversimplified. And as always, you'll be supporting my channel. So thank you. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, secession, fat man, and the Union invasion into Virginia. The two sides encountered each other at Manassas, and both geared up for the first major battle of the Civil War, the First Battle of Bull Run. The Confederates rapidly brought in support via rail, and the two sides were about equal in numbers. However, they were also equally inexperienced. A large number of civilians also rode out by carriage from DC to picnic on the nearby hills and watch the excitement unfold. Nobody seemed to quite understand how destructive this war was going to be. The Union forces pulled a flanking maneuver to hit the Confederates on their left, and the two sides fired on each other in rows. Farm families living in the area were forced to flee the fighting, including a man named Wilmer McLean. Hurry up, Martha! There's a war out here! The more you tell me to hurry up, the slower I will go! The Union force saw initial success pushing the Confederates back to Henry Hill, but one as of yet fairly unknown General Thomas Jackson had arrived, and he took a defensive position, standing firm like a stone wall, holding the Union army off, and finally sending them running back to Washington, D.C. With heavy casualties, the sobering reality of war hit both sides hard, and the North, having just lost the first major battle, had to face the serious prospect that they may not actually win this war. President Lincoln, General Jackson whipped us so hard, the Confederates are calling him Stonewall Jackson. Wait, that's why they're calling him that? Not because he looks like he ran face first into a stone wall? Apparently not. Worse yet, the North had also lost the first major battle out west, giving away control of southwest Missouri. All of this was terrible news for Abraham Lincoln, especially since many of his generals and cabinet already didn't have much respect for him. They felt he was incapable of running a war because he seemed a bit like your friendly old grandpa. He famously loved a long-winded story and a good pun. I've been so busy, my wife is missing me. But her aim is starting to improve. But deep down, few realized he could also be incredibly shrewd. Oh, Abe, you're so funny. Funny how? Funny like I'm a clown? Abe, I was just... No, funny how? Like I'm here to amuse you? During the war, Lincoln committed acts that were viewed by some as impeachable. His administration suppressed the free media from printing articles sympathetic towards the South. Some Southern sympathizers were even arrested without a trial. Lincoln's criticizers began accusing him of being a tyrant. But to quote the man himself, "Hey, it's war, baby. What are you gonna do?" By the end of 1861, with things already looking bad for the North, abolitionists such as Frederick Douglass couldn't believe that the Union Army weren't enlisting black men. He continued to put pressure on Lincoln to make the war about emancipation. "Mr. President, it's time to make the war about emancipation." I don't want to ruffle any feathers. The feathers are already ruffled. But Lincoln, hanging on to hope for a quick end to the conflict, continued to fight only for the preservation of the Union. It was decided, however, that escaped slaves from the Confederacy could be held as enemy contraband, and many of these men were put to work bolstering the Union's infrastructure and supply lines. Hoping to get things moving, Lincoln made young General George McClellan the new commanding general, and McClellan began to train up his men. He thought a lot of himself, however, and believed he was going to be the nation's great savior. And like many others, he didn't approve of the president's handling of the war. On one occasion, Lincoln went to McClellan's house to meet with him, but McClellan was late returning home. He kept the president waiting, and when he finally got there, he just straight up went to bed. Now that's what I call disrespectful. McClellan talked the talk, but could he walk the walk? No. Like Lincoln's other generals, McClellan was maddeningly cautious. "Hey man, could you move south and attack the enemy?" "What? Are you crazy? What if they have a big scary army down there?" "They probably do." "What? Oh my gosh!" McClellan worried that he did not have the numbers he needed to fight effectively. "What if they have like 10,000 men?" "Okay, no problem. We'll get you 20,000 men." "Well, what if they have 30,000 men?" "I'll need 40." "Okay, you can have 40." "Well, what if they have 50?" "I'll need 60." Lincoln tried, but it was all in vain. McClellan would not make a move for the rest of the year. The North's one saving grace for now was a general out west fighting in Kentucky and Tennessee, General Ulysses S. Grant. Cool, collected, methodical, and a big fan of whiskey. His chief of staff took it upon himself to keep Grant sober. One officer said that Grant habitually wore an expression as though he were determined to drive his head through a brick wall and was about to do it. And that determination led him to score a number of key victories when others around him were failing. At the Battle of Fort Donelson, Grant was like, "Why does Stonewall Jackson get a cool nickname and I don't? I want a cool nickname." "Sir, the Confederates say they're ready to surrender and want to know your terms." "No terms, just unconditional surrender." Hey, unconditional surrender Grant. That's a pretty cool nickname, right? Guys, right? Later in April 1862, the Confederates launched a sudden attack on Grant's army at Shiloh, but the determined, unconditional surrender Grant threw his lines at the rebels and sent them running. The battle resulted in the heaviest casualties in U.S. history so far. And despite his victory, Grant found himself under fire. You have to get rid of Grant. Why? Didn't he win? Yes, but he just threw his men at the enemy. Isn't that the point? Also, he's a loony drunk. Well, what does he like to drink? I believe whiskey, sir. Then send him more. Lincoln watched as his cabinet did nothing but bicker, and his generals did nothing. But then, worst of all, personal tragedy struck. Lincoln's young son, Willie, very much loved by the president, died of typhoid fever at the age of 11. Lincoln was a sensitive man and was heavily affected by the loss. His wife was inconsolable. But one of Lincoln's greatest traits, what made him such a great leader, was in the darkest of times, with composure and determination, he kept moving forward. He knew it was his responsibility to hold himself and his family together, and by doing so, he hoped to hold the nation together. And he had had it with McClellan's in action. Lincoln decided he was gonna take control. In March 1862, Lincoln firmly ordered McClellan to once again move south towards Richmond. McClellan insisted instead they move by sea to the Virginia Peninsula and attack Richmond from the southeast. Yes, said Lincoln. Okay, anything. Lincoln held on to some of McClellan's men to defend D.C. from a nearby Stonewall Jackson wreaking havoc in the Shenandoah Valley, and he sent McClellan south. McClellan landed on the peninsula, and he began to move inland. He came up against a small Confederate army that had dug in at Yorktown. McClellan vastly outnumbered the force, but it's said that Confederate General Magruder deceived McClellan by cleverly maneuvering his smaller force and making McClellan believe he faced a huge army. No, you have way more men than them. Move forward. No. McClellan settled in for a month-long siege, giving time for Johnston to move south from Manassas and Magruder time to retreat. When he finally entered the city and found it deserted, he declared it a victory, calling his success brilliant. Then, after meeting some resistance at Williamsburg, McClellan moved to within just 20 miles of Richmond, his armies able to hear the church bells ringing in the enemy capital. You still outnumber them. Go give him hell. No. McClellan once again held back, moving slowly and defensively, and with his army split in two, the Confederates saw an opportunity to strike back. McClellan's advance was halted, and now the Confederates pulled an ace out of their sleeve. General Lee, you're up. Do you think we should evacuate Richmond? No, Mr. President, no need. General Robert E. Lee, one of the most brilliant military commanders of the time, was now in charge. One of his biggest strengths was his ability to read the mind of his enemy, and he knew McClellan was cautious and weak. After moving Stonewall Jackson south to join him, and even though he had a smaller army, Lee hit McClellan in a series of fast-paced, close combat battles that had McClellan spooked. McClellan retreated the Union Army back again and again and again, escaping the peninsula and returning to D.C. Lee had defeated McClellan, and the campaign had failed. Well, that was a major success. A success? Tell me exactly what was successful about that. Well, we successfully retreated. You lost. I didn't lose. I merely failed to win. Things just kept looking worse for the North. At least their Navy had seen some success, capturing a number of key port cities, notably when they steamrolled past Confederate forts to take New Orleans. And speaking of the Navy, both sides had begun using ironclads. So that's pretty cool. But in the East, they still weren't having any luck. After McClellan's disastrous campaign, Lincoln briefly sent out one General John Pope to attack Northern Virginia. Hey man, just checking in. How's it going? Well, the Confederates kicked my butt at Cedar Mountain. Then they raided my camp and ran off with my money and clothes. Also, I appear to have been wedgied. Lee defeated Pope at yet another battle at Bull Run, in which nearby farm families once again got caught up in the fighting. Hurry up, Martha! There's another war out here! I'm waiting for my hair to dry! Wilmer McLean, sick of war, moved his family south, where he knew the war would definitely, absolutely, never touch him again. But Lincoln had yet another problem to contend with. European powers, in particular the UK, were looking increasingly like they may intervene diplomatically on the side of the Confederates. They were missing their precious supply of southern cotton because of the Union blockade, and they wanted to see a swift conclusion to the war. The tension between America and Great Britain had been increasing, especially after Confederate diplomats were discovered on a British ship. Now, after McClellan's failure to take Richmond, the UK declared it impossible for the North to win. Lincoln needed something to prevent Europe from getting involved, and after more petitioning from abolitionists, he decided maybe the time was finally right to make the war about ending the institution he hated, slavery. If the North had a noble cause to fight for, Europe would be less likely to intervene. But Lincoln and his cabinet knew before they could declare something as radical as emancipation, they needed a victory, especially now that the Confederates were about to go on the attack. Aware that he had a limited number of men and supplies, Lee now hoped that if he could just threaten Washington, D.C. militarily, he would gain Europe's recognition and crush Northern morale in time for the midterm elections, forcing the North to negotiate. With confidence at an all-time high, for the first time, Robert E. Lee invaded the North. But on September 13th, the North finally had some luck. Oh boy, it's my lucky day! A cigar in a field. Hey, what's this wrapped around it? Oh my gosh! That's right, the North had discovered General Lee's battle plans wrapped around some cigars. And in them, they saw that Lee had split up his forces. McClellan headed out from D.C., and the two sides met in the Battle of Antietam, a crucial battle that would decide the course of the war. It saw the most vicious fighting to date, and still remains the single bloodiest day in American history. But, for once, the North came out victorious, and Lee was forced to retreat. He's on the run. Chase him down and finish him off. No. You know what, old buddy, old pal? You're fired. The North had won their crucial victory. Lincoln breathed a huge sigh of relief, and with that win, he was prepared to take a huge step. On September 22nd, the Emancipation Proclamation was issued. In January, all slaves held in the Confederate States would be, as far as the U.S. government was concerned, officially free. Throughout the North, free black men and women rejoiced, knowing that if the North were to win, their brothers and sisters would no longer be held in bondage. The proclamation also had the intended effect on Europe, who were not willing to oppose a pledge to end slavery. An outraged Confederacy knew that Lincoln had given the war a new meaning. It was no longer just about the preservation of the Union. Now, it was about creating a new Union, washed clean of its original sin. A Union without slavery.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah.
This video was made possible by Honey. Stick around to learn how you can save money when you shop online. As the Union struggle to take control in the East continued, elsewhere, the war raged on. The Confederates attempted an invasion of Kentucky, hoping the state as a whole would join them, but they were pushed back. The Indian Territory saw Native American tribes ally with one side or the other in the hopes of securing rights after the war. Along the Mississippi, General Ulysses S. Grant remained one of the few Union generals scoring major victories. With his best pal, General Sherman, by his side, Grant led his armies down the Mississippi to the Confederate stronghold of Vicksburg. Both sides knew that if Vicksburg fell, the Confederacy would be split in two, and the Confederates prepared for an intense defense of the city. But back in the East, Lincoln still wanted somebody to march south and take Richmond. Having given General McClellan the boot, he needed a new man in charge. All right, Mr. President, option 1 is General Hooker. Bit of a nutcase, but a good general. Option 2, his qualifications are his name is Burnside and he has freaking dope-ass sideburns. Say no more. So General Burnside was put in charge of the Army of the Potomac and sent south. Lincoln hoped he finally had a general who could succeed. Burnside met General Lee at the city of Fredericksburg, where he intended to rapidly cross the river and take the city. But the Union War Department was too slow in delivering the pontoon bridges, and the two sides were forced to camp across from each other, close enough to speak. Hey Yankee, ready to get your butt kicked? Yeah, right, rebel. God is on our side. No way, God's on our side. Oh, you think so? Well, why don't we ask him? Hey God, whose side are you on? Ow. Dude, uncool. With over 100,000 men, the Union Army finally launched their massive attack on the 11th of December. But by now, the Confederates had amassed their forces. During the battle, wave after wave of brave Union men marched headlong into a brutal Confederate onslaught. Even the Confederates couldn't believe what they were seeing, and in one moment of camaraderie, a Confederate sergeant, unable to take it, reportedly came out into the field to tend to the Union wounded. Seeing this, the Union troops held their fire. Still, Burnside and his forces were soundly defeated at Fredericksburg and forced to retreat. Lincoln's popularity and Northern morale continued to plummet, especially as the winter heading into 1863 was bad. The winter camps were rife with disease. The food was less than appealing. On both sides, men began to leave. Hey, where do you think you're going? I'm deserting. What? Don't you love your country? Yes, I do. And I'm trying to get back to it as quick as I can. Lincoln, ever the kind and caring man he was, spent much of his time pardoning deserters' death sentences. Oh my, here's a 17-year-old boy sentenced to be hanged. Well, I'd better suspend his sentence, or he'll be suspended tomorrow. What? To try to keep the numbers up, both sides had introduced conscription. There was controversy in the North, however, since rich men could simply pay to have someone else fight on their behalf. Riots broke out in New York City, with enraged mobs furious at the idea of going to fight for slaves, an idea that many of them simply did not support. However, after so much pressure, the Union had finally begun allowing black men to enlist. And these men, knowing what they were fighting for, signed up. By the end of the war, nearly 200,000 troops, 10% of the Union Army, would be black. The valor and bravery they showed throughout, silencing critics. Okay, well that last guy was useless. Let's try this Hooker fellow. General Joseph Hooker was put in charge of the Army of the Potomac, and once again, Lincoln ordered him to move south and take Richmond. Hooker met Lee at the Battle of Chancellorsville, where Hooker had over twice the men Lee did. Lee was forced to defy all military convention and split his smaller force into two. Lee had absolutely no chance of winning, and Lee won. It was his masterpiece. Lee did suffer one significant loss during the battle, though. As his right-hand man, Stonewall Jackson, was riding back to the Confederate lines at night, the nervous Confederate troops, unable to recognize him, opened fire. You boys done goofed up. Jackson died 8 days later. As for Lincoln, he couldn't believe it. It was yet another loss, and Northern support continued to waver. While the Union kept on struggling in the East, out west, unconditional surrender Grant was making moves as always. In an attempt to take Vicksburg on the Mississippi, he made a series of risky and bold movements. He sent a cavalry raid and feigned Sherman north to confuse the enemy. Then, aided by a fleet of ironclads on the river, he raced his army south to cross the Mississippi. Aware that the terrain to the north was restrictive, instead, he strategically moved northeast, hitting Vicksburg's supply line and defending his rear from Confederate armies in Jackson. Once he reached Vicksburg, the Confederate defense became hardened, and Grant was forced to settle in for a month-long siege, during which time he got rather bored. Despite not taking the city, Lincoln loved it and encouraged Grant to hold firm. It would only be a matter of time before the Mississippi was in Union hands. Around this time, the people in the west of Virginia, who had remained loyal to the Union throughout, finally broke away to form their own state. They could have named it anything in the world, but the creative minds at the time came up with the ingenious West Virginia. Back in Washington, Lincoln once again wanted a new general to take command. Oh my goodness, why do all these 19th century generals look so bust? Look, we got Sleepy Eyes Joe here. That's Princess Leia with a mustache. E.T. phoned the doctor. Fine, why don't we give Snapping Turtle McGee here a shot? So General Snapping Turtle McGee was put in charge of the Army of the Potomac, and it was a crucial time for the Union, because once again, the Confederates decided to go on the attack. So far, they had done exceedingly well militarily, but as the war kept going, the Confederate economy was crumbling. Riots broke out in the streets of Richmond as the price of bread skyrocketed. Supplies were dwindling. Jefferson Davis wanted to send men west to rescue Vicksburg, but General Lee knew the longer the war lasted, the worse their chances got. And he still hoped if he could just threaten D.C., the already demoralized North would surrender. So in June 1863, with the momentum behind him, General Lee once again entered the North, fighting his way through Maryland and into Pennsylvania. General Meade set out to meet him for what would be the most significant battle of the entire war. If the Confederates won, D.C. could fall. If the Union won, it would be a turning point, as the Confederates would run out of steam, and the small town that was to get caught up in the crossfire of the largest battle in American history was Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. On June 1st, units from each army encountered one another and skirmished through the town itself. The townspeople were forced to take refuge, except for one man, who reportedly ran outside for a strange reason. "Joseph, what are you doing?" "I'm not gonna let them take my beans." "How many times do I have to tell you they're not here for your beans?" By the second day, over 100,000 men stretched for miles across the battlefield. Lee took the initiative, deciding to hit the enemy's flanks, and he came very close to breaking through the Union's disorganized left. But Union Colonel Joshua Chamberlain ordered a desperate bayonet charge, smashing into the Confederates and forcing them back. The Union forces held across the line. On the final day, Lee believed the Union Army had fortified its flanks, so he decided to finish them off with one massive central assault. The Confederates rushed at the Union lines during General Pickett's charge, and this time, it was the Union's turn to unleash hell. Meade had correctly guessed Lee's strategy, and the Confederates were decimated, forced to turn and flee. A devastated General Lee called out to his fleeing and wounded men, telling them it was his fault. And after holding for a counterattack that never came, he ordered a retreat back into Virginia. The North had just managed to score a massive victory, and one they desperately needed. And if that wasn't enough, in the West, after a month-long siege, Vicksburg finally fell. The North now held the Mississippi. And better yet, it was the 4th of July. With control of the Mississippi, Union forces moved into Arkansas and Tennessee. Tennessee in particular saw heavy fighting, with Union General Rosecrans masterfully pushing Braxton Bragg's Army of the Tennessee out of Tennessee. He suffered a major setback, however, at the bloody Battle of Chickamauga and ended up...
I'm sorry, I'm so out of it today, guys. I'm fairly drunk. Got some very bad news today. Like the worst news I've ever got. And I can't share it on stream because it has nothing to do with me. And, well, I mean, it has something to do with me, but it has nothing to do with, like, me, really. And I just want to say that I won't always be like this. I won't go a whole day without playing games and stuff. I mean, I did do Skyrim for, like, 6 hours today. And I pretended pretty well that I was doing okay, but I got some very, very bad news today. And I'm sorry that I'm just sort of out of it and watching videos. That isn't something that I normally do on this channel. Most of the time I'm playing video games. 1.75 of the last year, I've done, you know, pretty much 400 hours of video games every day, every week, every month, every year. And I like the consistency. I've been pretty good, but days like this, I just want to sit back. And honestly, like, while I have been paying attention to the videos and stuff, in the background, I'm just thinking about my problems. And I'm sorry. I realize that that's not very good, probably very good, like, content for most people, but at least I'm honest about what what I'm facing and what I'm up against, you know.
Under a Confederate siege at Chattanooga. At one point during this siege...
I have a problem I can't fix because of humans that I've never met. Doing things that I don't condone to people that I love that just I can't even begin to go fight these problems for other people that aren't in my real life that I never met. And it sucks because this one hurt. I heard it today. It crippled me. It crippled me emotionally. I was like, oh no, I'm going to be fucked up for a couple of weeks, you know. And I mean, not to put a timer on it, I'm going to be fucked up for a long time over this one. So I wish I could vent about it on stream, but it's just too private. It has nothing to do with the stream or anything. I do want to talk freely about, like, my feelings and stuff. I understand now that I had some bad news today, and I will be probably out of it for a couple of days while I dwell on my failures. And I mean, none of this had anything to do with me, but oftentimes I look at any time something bad happened to any of my friends or family as my own failure. And this one isn't me, but it's still, like, it is to a degree, because I should have been there and I should have been able to stop something or do something, but what can I do? And that's loss in your own personal life, you know. It's unfortunate. It's not always like that, but I mean, that's where I'm at right now, where I have to deal with it maturely. I can't run off and, you know, I can't scare my family. I can't live like I used to. I can't make connections or choices like I used to. I'm like this like relied upon family member who is there every day trying to be something for somebody. Responsibility and the old boomer lifestyle and stuff that I never really wanted slowly sank into my life, whether I liked it or not. And now it's there. And it's unfortunate. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm lazy and I'm stupid and I'm old and I really just don't want this. It's something, the responsibility is something I want. But the people I do love and I do want to be in their lives, and I'll be there, show up and wear the armor and be anything that they need from me. And I told them this today. But also, I don't think most people listen to me when I talk. Unfortunately. And that's okay. I mean, you know, but I mean, I don't know what else to say at that point. I don't have the solution. I mean, I have the solutions. I don't know, without trying to prove it, I don't know I have a way of showing it to people that I have the solutions.
A temporary truce was declared so that wounded men could be recovered, and often in the Civil
My
War...
solution these days to all problems, no matter what they are, is to sit back and not worry and have someone take care of you while you just heal. And that's my solution to it. Like, when you get fucked up by your family or something in the real life or something's bad, you go lie down in a fetal position somewhere on a bed that somebody's loaning you while you just live there on borrowed time, and you fucking rest. You rest and you heal and you get closure and you figure out what you're feeling about the whole situation, and you draw, you know, more power and more, inspiration in your struggle and all this. And I don't know how that's all I've been doing for 5 years. I don't know how else to live other than that anymore. My life now is like this terrible thing where I just essentially try to repair all the damage that I wouldn't say was necessarily my fault, but I was definitely complicit. I don't think I ever fucked me up the way the government did, or all the rules, or the cops, or the problems. I never went looking for that. I never deserved it, and I got a raw deal there, and I didn't want it, and it destroyed my life. But I mean, I caught the raw deal, and I've grown accepting of the fact, and I've gotten better, and I don't fall for the same traps or make the same problems or cause the same issues anymore. And I'm just out of it. But that doesn't change the fact that I don't run things. I can't sway the vote. I don't have the presidency. I don't tell people what to think or do. I don't know how to tell people how to solve their problems other than to heal. And if I tell them to heal, it's like on the auspices of somebody else. Because if you're in this terrible, shitty situation where you need help, you often cannot help yourself. If you need help, you can't help yourself. You know?
During these small truces, men from both sides would meet in the middle to trade things like tobacco, coffee, and maybe even honey. Do you like honey? Me too. Bees are great. And you know what rhymes with honey? Money. Did you know honey can help you save money? Let me explain. Honey is a free browser extension that automatically finds you the best coupon codes when you buy stuff online for free. For example, here I am purchasing 100 pepperoni pizzas because what the heck, I do what I want. With just a click of a button, I've saved $210. Nice. Honey works with over 30,000 websites, including eBay, Target, and Expedia. And it's already found Oversimplified subscribers over $46,000 in savings. It takes just 2 clicks to install. And better yet, it's absolutely, positively, 100% free. Get Honey now and start saving money by clicking on the link in the description below. Joinhoney.com/oversimplified. That's joinhoney.com/oversimplified. And as always, you'll be supporting my channel. So thank you. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. Vicksburg, 4th of July, and the Siege of Chattanooga.
I am going to stop here, guys. I'm sorry. I've had a rough fucking day. I've tried not to talk about it until now, but this is one of the worst days of my life. And, I can't pretend that it was a normal day for me. I didn't play a lot of video games, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm normal or that I'm dealing with the day well or the news that I got or any of these problems. And I'm done pretending. I'm just going to go be by myself in a fetal ball until I fall asleep. And I love you guys, and it has nothing to do with me, which is good. I'm not depressed over something that happened to me or anything that I caused or my life. This is someone else's problems, and I don't know what to do. It sucks, but it's someone else's problems, and the best I can do is just be there and try to offer support and tell them that I love them and try to get them through it. And I think every time I talk more, I just hurt it more. I'm noticing that the less is more. Something that I've noticed from the humans around me is that as like a 40-year-old boomer, they don't want me to talk. They want me to stoically sit there and shut the fuck up like some kind of Mel Gibson guy without the crazy side. But no, I'm crazy side, and I'll speak my fucking mind, and I really don't care. I'll say what I mean. I don't care. And I don't know, like, I've been facing so many problems lately. It's hard for me to have sympathy for other people. I do, but I mean, I just don't. Like, I do and I don't, because I'm like, oh my god, like, nobody was there for me. Nobody was there for me for any of it. I mean, my best friend of it, but by the end of it, they were long gone. Both of them. They were, like, long gone by the end of it. But by the end of it, it had been 2 years since I'd seen either one, and I just knew that it was just over. That, like, I wasn't going to find any solstice there or any help or or Solace there, excuse me. I just like gave up on it. I was like, yeah, I love these people and I'm there in their lives, and when they need me, I'm there for them, and I try to support them. But I mean, as far as my life goes, I don't really actually have like some way out of being who I am. I don't really have a way out of it.
Thankfully, General
I'm gonna watch the rest of this video and then go to bed.
Grant, now in charge of all Western Union armies, showed up and karate kicked Bragg right back into Georgia. Like this.
I see these catastrophic problems, and I'll tell you right now how my personality is, right? Oh, the government sucks. Well, I'll stalk through the hallways and kill them all. Oh, something happened really bad. Oh, well, I'll prosecute them. Oh, you need help? Well, I don't have any money, but I'll stand there next to you while we fight them for the rest of our lives. You know, etc. And I don't know. Like, I don't really know. I don't know what to do now. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can't keep solving other people's problems. I kept solving people's problems all my life. And now I'm in this place where I'm like, nobody's going to do that for me. Nobody, I mean, it's been so long since anybody's even remotely tried. I don't want it even. That's the worst part about it. I don't want it anymore. I don't want help from anybody. I don't want to worry about them because I feel like I worry about them all the time, and I live through psychic pain, and I cry, and I moan, and I worry, and I don't know what to do, and they don't talk to me. Sometimes they talk to me, sometimes they don't. And either way, I'm like, oh God, I don't know if this was good for me. I don't know. I'm sure it was good for you, but I don't know if it was good for me because I'm like, I don't know. I just, like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I talk and I don't even get a response anymore, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's like, at that point, I don't really see how I'm in anyone's life. I don't really see it. I don't think I'm in my parents' life. I'm not in my friend's life. I'm not even my own life. Like today, I sat around and watched videos for like, I don't know, what was it, like 7 hours or 8 hours or something like that. And I didn't even talk very much. I just watched the videos like we're doing right now. And I act like Mr. Ghost online, and I don't do anything. And I don't really care. Because like so long ago now, it's been so long ago now since I had hope about anything. It's been 3 years since I've had hope about anything at all. I don't expect a love life or happiness or money or success or anything like that at all. I really expect basically a bunch more pain and suffering, really. And it's funny because I'm like the most glass half full person you ever meet. I really believe that not everything, that it can't rain all the time, that it can't be bad all the time. But I believe if I'm involved, that it will. You know, and on that note, I'm just going to bail out here. I was going to watch the rest of this, but I'd rather do it tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm just tired and I'm out of it, and I psychically, I'm completely drained. I have nothing left. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have anything left. This was the most exhausting fucking day I've had in my whole life, maybe. And I don't even get to talk about it, really, or like, it's not even my trauma, really. It's not my trauma or my pain. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do except talk about it. I don't know what to do in this world anymore. We built in this place where if we want to get any like justice, we have to hire lawyers and all these terrible problems. And I don't know what to do to solve anybody's problems anymore, short of get them high or something. I don't know what to do. If the government was persecuting my friend, what do I do then? What do I say? Do I fight the government? No. Do I fight my friend? No. Do I pick a side? Yeah. But it won't matter. That like nothing gets done there. There's always some vessel that just floats in from sea and you can't really stop it. I don't know. I can't. I'm just not in this beautiful place where I can fight this any longer, you know? I'm gonna go curl up in the fucking ball and cry. And deal with the psychic pain however it actually, manifests. And I love you guys, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to act like some Debbie fucking downer at the end of the stream at like 11 o'clock at night and stuff, but like, this stuff is hard. We've been going through something. My friends and I, we've been going through something. Everybody's hurt by the cold. Nobody has any fucking money. The purse strings were not cut. The people all die from COVID, and I don't even know what happens here. I don't know what happened here in the last couple of years. It's unfortunate. So I see it every day. It's like the madness, and I saw the best minds of my generation lost and destroyed by madness. So on that note, you've been watching Skycat Live. I'm a full-time variety gamer. Sorry to end on such a niche-y fucking note, but, you know, I mean, I just told you the truth of everything but exactly what I'm facing now. I don't really have another way to say it, so I'm just going to say thank you so much. I love you for hanging around. Thank you for hanging around when I can't hang